Like, you need a great opener. Like, somehow we're adults. Do.
We can record that right
some
now.
Kind of like.
We can record that right now.
Everybody be quiet.
Somehow we're adults.
That was it. That was it. We did it.
And you, the
anyone
listener-
listening, that was what you're gonna hear from now on. That's it.
After that point is a cymbal clash, and that's all you need.
Let's kick it off. Dylan, how have you enjoyed the UFC world this year so far?
It's been a good year so far. Hasn't been. I feel like there's been a lot of like low key fights lately, especially the last couple weeks. I feel like after they run a pay per view, they're like, here's 2 dumpster fire cars that gets to the next one.
Right. It's like it's just enough to keep you along if you want to watch it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean the pay-per-views have been really good.
I agree. And then to me though too, even like the dumpster fire ones, like those are the lower fighters. Those are the ones that gotta try to make a name for themselves.
I do try to watch those. Yeah, I do try to watch those because
agree.
I want to try and I'm like, okay, who's going to be the next champ? You know what I mean? Because one of those dudes are going to be a champ. It's just a matter of did you watch it at the beginning?
Right.
You got to pick them
Were
early.
you there when they didn't have a number next to the name?
Right. So, so let's start off. I guess the first was the year was Calvin Kattar versus
Yep, Chikadze.
Chikadze. Is that how you pronounce it?
You got it.
Yeah. Well, after I heard you say it.
Right.
So Calvin Kattar, I mean, he did really good that fight. That was his comeback fight after fighting. After getting beat up by Max Holloway.
Yep. After being a statue for
Yeah,
25 minutes.
Bro, first of all, that dude's face turned into hamburger meat, that Max Holloway fight.
100%.
And that just shows you how fucking tough Calvin Kattar is.
Yeah,
Because that
for
was
sure.
next level.
I agree. And
He put on a clinic in that fight.
He did.
That was Giga. That's his name. I was wondering why I didn't recognize his name. I'm like, I swear I watched that fight. But everyone calls him Giga.
Yeah, Giga.
Yeah.
He's got those crazy kicks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was really good. Didn't he like break his foot or something like that fight?
I don't know if it was that one.
Or maybe I'm confusing him with someone else. I remember that fight at the very beginning though. That Giga guy's very good, but he got like after like the second round, it seemed like something got turned off for him.
Yeah.
Like he hurt himself some kind of way.
He might have gassed out somewhere.
Right.
Guitar's pressure, he just got there.
Yeah,
It was an easy 5-rounder for him.
I wouldn't go easy, but I would say it was like he was very dominant.
Yeah,
in that
just
fight.
for it to be unanimous, you know.
Yeah,
And it was interesting too. He was the first, underdog of the year for the main event. And I mean, if you rebook that fight, he's probably a minus 200 next time too.
Oh, easily, yeah, because he put on a clinic that
He definitely showed there was levels to it for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, talk about the same thing that happened to Calvin against Holloway happened to Giga in that
100%.
fight. In that Giga, it just showed you how fucking tough that dude is.
Right.
Because he went for 5-minute rounds.
Right.
And made it all the way through.
Yeah.
And he was just getting pieced up the second half
Right.
of the fight. And then Calvin Kattar, did the same.
I slept on Calvin Kattar for sure because after Holloway, I was like, oh, that dude's just standing there. He's a punch bag. So,
Yeah, well, if you only look at that fight, yeah, you'll see that. But if you look at like his previous fights before that, he's a pretty good boxer, and that's why it was so impressive what Max Holloway did.
Right.
And then Giga, when you watch his highlights, it's pretty insane.
Yeah.
Pretty insane. He's doing.
And that shows
doing
how
some numbers.
crazy Holloway is because you see how good Qatar looked, and then
Yeah.
Qatar had zero
yeah.
chance against Holloway.
Oh yeah, I think Holloway's just got some crazy reach. It makes me so sad that he didn't just fight Volkanovski.
I'm ready for part 3. He was supposed to, but then Holloway got hurt.
Yeah.
So
R.I.P. that fight. I think like that's gonna be like Khabib versus Tony, the third fight between him and Volkanovski.
I think we'll get it.
Yeah.
We better. Holloway needs one more shot. I feel like.
Yeah, we gotta see it. All right, what was the next event, Colton?
I think this is the one you guys came over for.
Was it?
I think it was Nagano Gun. Yep.
Yeah, Francis Nurmagomedov
Literally.
versus Sarragon.
I thought Gun was gonna win that fight, and then Francis is like,
Bro,
Khabib, my
nobody.
long-lost cousin.
You could not have predicted that fight. You just you could not.
It was one of those you guys had to watch.
What was the first fight of that card, Colton? So, because that was a stacked card, I believe.
Yeah, it was pretty loaded from the get go.
Syed Nurmagomedov.
I think you gotta scroll back up to where it says prelims.
No, we don't have to go all the prelims. I was just looking at the main card.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't even know the prelims. So you had Khabib's cousin fight. That Michael Pereira. That was his second fight
so
in the UFC.
entertaining.
Yeah, and I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure it was a pretty dominant win, or maybe it was pretty close. I don't know. I just know that Michael Pereira dude, that's the crazy dude with the spinning elbows.
Yeah, he's got some
I said
crazy
second
stuff.
fight in the UFC. I'm thinking of somebody different. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about the dude who knocked out Stylebender in kickboxing.
Yeah.
Whatever that guy's name is. But that was a good fight. That's that dude who the Andre
Fiallo.
Fiallo.
Yeah.
He's the dude who was like just boxing.
Yeah.
Just boxing. And then Michael, he's the guy who did like that backflip on the dude.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah, straight up crazy.
Backflip stomp and stuff.
He's definitely a ninja on the
Yeah.
weekends.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, next fight of the night. Brandon Moreno, Davison Figueiredo. This was the third one.
Yeah.
First one was a draw. Second one, Brandon Moreno choked him out.
Yeah.
What did you think about that fight?
I thought
Because Figueiredo ended up winning decision.
I thought it was a draw again, to be honest. I remember y'all were at the house and we were kind of like picking up our jaws off the floor.
I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed because to me, granted, I'm a huge Brandon Moreno fan.
Mm-hmm.
Take that with a grain of salt. But when I watched that fight, I there was, like you've said before, if you're fighting to be the champion, you better win convincingly.
Right.
And Davison Figueiredo won the belt on what should have been a split decision. Because I thought Brandon Moreno won 3 out of the 5.
Yeah, the unanimous was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Like Davison did not do. He seemed like he was on his heels the whole night and didn't land anything.
Yeah.
He did drop Brandon one time.
Round 2.
Yeah, one time. But Brandon literally just got back up and he was like, "I'm fine. What are you guys talking about?"
I feel like sometimes the judges just bank on like the more powerful shots, even if
it makes you wonder if UFC pays the judges for certain decisions. Like,
I really
hey,
do
if
wish.
it gets close, make it this because if we do this fight again, people really want to see it.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder.
Yeah, it's tough because like I feel like for the UFC, like Moreno is such a marketable guy. Like I feel like they would have rathered him keep it because Figueiredo, I mean, he's not marketable
Well, yeah, but
because everyone loves Moreno.
But Superman wouldn't be Superman without a villain, you know.
I get
Or like
that.
Batman is nothing without the Joker.
And it's like they gotta do a part 4 eventually, but they gotta let him fight someone else now, in my opinion. But
And then Davison, like, I don't know if you saw all the things he posted on social media too. He's talking about how Brandon's team was being racist and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and,
I
like,
saw that.
Yeah, I literally am like, okay, I feel like it's just a big hype show at this point.
for sure.
Like, we like Brandon Moreno. Davison Figueiredo's meh.
Yeah. This is one of those fights that I wish UFC did what other promotions did and gave us like live scoring after each round. Because like how beneficial to the fans and even them to like know like okay it's 2-2 going into this instead of 3-1 either side.
Bro, I mean the amount of people too that like on whenever UFC videos were like posting the Davison Figueiredo win the belt, and you look at like people. I was looking at the comments because I felt Brandon Moreno was robbed.
Right.
And so I was reading the comments, and there was so many comments where people were just going, "He got robbed."
Yeah.
He got robbed. And then there would be like one dude who just wanted to be like an asshole and would be like, "Oh, everyone who's saying he got robbed, like they're just dick riders and wanted to be like a part." I'm like, no. Like when you watch that fight, to me, Brandon Moreno won 3 out of 5.
Right.
I think there was one round that was debatable, and I think it was the round that Davison dropped him, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to
I think that was
rewatch
round
that
2.
fight. I really want to rewatch that fight and try to watch it with a clear mind, but
Yeah.
I'm just.
It was one of those. I was just like,
They should have made it a
you had to
draw.
convincingly win, and like I bet on Figueiredo, and I still thought Moreno was gonna get his hand raised.
Yeah. Yeah.
By
Oh,
split.
yeah. And you made money off of it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Or even if it's that close, just make it. I mean, I guess you can't really force a draw. A draw is something you don't really know until everyone looks at their cards.
Mm-hmm. The sport definitely needs more accountability with judging, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that was I don't know. It's like when Aljamain won the belt because of
Jan.
when Peter Yan kneed him in the head and he won the belt. Like I felt like that same way that night with that fight.
I
Like
get
I'm just
that.
like I don't feel like you earned it. Like you might have the belt right now.
Yeah.
But no one thinks you have it.
Right.
So, but the main event, Francis Nurmagomedov.
The
versus
money I
Cyril
won
Gane.
on Figueiredo, I gave it right back with Cyril Gane.
Bro,
Just
bro,
handed it on silver
that
platter.
was the
So I don't want
craziest
this.
fight.
100%.
That
I was
was
like, I
the-
don't need this.
You were betting on that, and I literally was like, I don't know who to pick because Francis has the Thor's hammer in his
I
hands,
get it.
but Cyril Gane is so well rounded.
Yeah.
Neither of us saw Francis Ngannou taking down Cyril Gane and holding him down for 5 rounds
Francis Nurmagomedov.
with blown out knees. He said after the fight that he had a week before that or 2 weeks before that he tore his ACL.
Yeah. Which I'm sitting here like, I can't even check the mail now without being tired since I tore ACL. I don't know how he's Nurmagomedov styling Cyril Gane.
Oh, there is Francis Ngannou.
Cocaine.
No, well,
100%
maybe
built
it's very
different.
possible.
100%.
Well,
built
have you
different.
heard his story about how he got where he is, bro? You're gonna start betting on that man more often. You better fucking put
If
some
we even
respect
see him
on
back
his
in
name.
the UFC, The whole heavyweight division's confusing now. I wanted to talk about that.
Bro, okay.
Francis is talking about he wants to go fight Tyson Fury, which
Do
I get
it.
Get
Fucking
your bag.
take
I'm
my
not-
money.
yeah.
Double the pay-per-view cost. I'll pay it.
Which I'm not mad at any athlete wanting to, know their worth, value their worth. But now I'm just like,
see,
you can't give Cyril Gane another interim title because we saw Francis handle him last time. So where does the heavyweight division go from there?
well, I think that Cyril, just like every other human that watched that fight, did not anticipate it going to the ground.
I agree.
His camp probably had zero to do with wrestling.
Yeah.
In fact, any wrestling was probably do was offensive wrestling, not defensive wrestling. I think Francis. So we all know Francis has to cut weight to make weight for heavyweight.
Right.
He's like 270 plus pounds, and he has to cut weight to get to 265. I think if so just comparing. So we're talking about Francis has thunder in his hand or lightning in his hands, where he just disconnects people from their consciousness. Wilder does the same thing. What's his Deontay Wilder?
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder does the same thing.
That dude's
Deontay
insane.
Wilder weighs like 240 pounds though.
Right.
He's a heavyweight, but he's not Francis Ngannou heavyweight. Granted, it might be
Francis is
25.
super heavyweight.
Francis has got 30 pounds on top of it. I
Yeah.
wonder what their height difference is, but don't worry about it. I don't think it would be much. But Tyson Fury is like 6'9".
Right.
That's a huge advantage too, because then you're punching up, and if you're already a tall dude, punching up is hard.
Right.
But Deontay Wilder, that's what he's known for too, is disconnecting people from their consciousness. So it makes you really want to know, like, Francis, is he better at it?
Right.
And then if he just lands one, but then again, Tyson Fury's boxing is just obviously the world class.
Yeah.
World class. So
I get that.
I don't know if we'll see it. I think they'd have to pay Tyson Fury an unhealthy amount of money.
Right. To even risk his
Right.
legendary status like that.
Right. Yeah.
Because Francis could very well walk in there, just handle it.
Because he's going down as one of the heavyweight goats.
For sure.
Well, Francis might too, but I'm talking about Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury's like done it all.
He's that dude.
Yeah. After that was it the first time he fought Deontay Wilder, and he like got up after Deontay hit him with his best shot, and he like rose
Dude
from
did
the
the
grave.
Undertaker.
Yeah, literally.
Dong.
Especially being 6'9", that's a far way to get up.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
That's a long track. But with the heavyweight, I'm just thinking like Ngannou, let's just say he goes to boxing, they're gonna strip him from the belt. Dana is like, if you're not ready to title defend in half a year, it's over for you.
I think they should strike up a deal where they get a percentage of Francis's purse.
Did you guys see what fight got announced yesterday for Cyril Gane?
No.
They're giving him Tied to Ivasa in September
Take my fucking money.
on everything.
Take my fucking money.
And so
Ties. Who do you, just real quick? Who do you think's gonna win that?
I love Gane, but I'm just like, if Tuivasa knocks out Derek Lewis, I'm not
That's a
betting
good
on that fight.
That's a good point. But stylistically speaking, Derek and Cyril Gane are two different styles. Derek is like here's my fist, go
Yeah.
night.
Right.
Same as Francis, and Francis is a lot more technical than he once was.
Yeah.
But Tai Tuivasa is the same way. It's like, here, you're getting. He knocked out Derek Lewis with an elbow.
That's such a flex.
yeah,
Like,
with an elbow.
that's the
But
thing. Like Cyril finished Derek Lewis, and then he won by decision, I think, against Derek Lewis, and then Tuivasa finished it. So it's like
the hard part's hitting Cyril Gane.
Right.
So
Yeah. That's the thing. Francis wasn't even like touching Gane. He was just taking him down and then handling him. Like Gane's style. If he can avoid Francis's power, I feel like he could avoid Tui's. But I'm just like, I'm not down Tui either.
Not at all.
Anyone that drinks out of a shoe, I'm not sleeping on you. Respectfully.
Right.
That big, they can move that quick.
Yeah. He's fast.
All right, but end of the day, you got to pick one.
I'll go Cyril.
I'm gonna go Cyril Gane on
if
that
your
fight
one,
too.
if your one loss is Ngannou, I can't discredit you yet.
Yeah, Cyril Gane's so good. He's so
then-
good.
So Cyril's number 2. I think Tuivasa's number 5. Number 3, Stipe. They're talking about him versus John Jones in
Let's
September.
fucking go.
Which that would be insane.
I'll throw my wallet at the TV. Take it.
So it makes you wonder. Both of those are supposed to be in September. Like,
I want to see John Jones back so bad.
did they kind of do like a semifinals, like the winner of Gane and Tuivasa face the winner of John Jones and Stipe for the interim? Because I don't think Francis is gonna fight until he gets a Fury fight.
Yeah, he deserves it, man. He deserves some
Yeah.
money for sure.
And even after that, I mean, you're gonna have to recover after.
You should
fighting
listen to
Tyson
his
Fury.
story, Francis Ngannou. When you listen to his story, you go, "Oh, this guy will
Yeah.
do anything,
Right.
anything." He literally he was from Cameroon, Africa, and he basically hitchhiked his way across Africa to try and get to France. And like, you should listen to like a podcast with him on it, where he tells the story. It is like he worked in like a sand mine.
That's crazy.
And like this, like, yeah, it was like he was living in like a third world country and like very, very poverty stricken. And he literally was like, he should be dead. Honestly, he should have died in the desert. But here he is,
That's
UFC
awesome.
champ of the world. It really shows you how powerful your mind is.
He can't get finished inside or outside the ring.
I'm saying, with blown out knees. Okay, and then we had, with blown out knees though, he was able to like take down Cyril Gane, which Cyril Gane is no lightweight. That man's like 270 pounds.
Yeah,
Like
especially
to pick him up and then fucking throw him on his back.
Especially at like an 80% hit rate. Like I think he had 4 out of 5. I'm like, that's insane.
Let's be real. Like you guys, like to pick you guys up and do what Francis did to Cyril, like, and you guys are lighter than him, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know Colton, you like what, 240?
Yeah, I'm around 220.
Right, as I'm saying, like to pick you up and do what he did, like.
Especially in like round 5 after doing it like rounds 3 and 4. Like,
to do it every round. It's like, all right, because every round starts standing up, and then to just
I
pick
pull
him
up
up
my lower back, tying my shoes in the morning. I can't like imagine
you
Cyril
blew
Gane.
out your knee stopping.
Yeah, 100%.
Because usually when you blew out your knee,
Literally for a layup.
everyone
listening.
listening,
ACL.
yeah, you tore your ACL for a layup. Yeah, because you were just slowing down.
I wish I got crossed or something. It would have sounded way cooler.
Yeah.
Give me a highlight
or like
reel
pushed down.
something.
You're like in a fight and you head kicked a dude and blew out your knee or
It's
something.
Like, no, I just planted and my leg started doing the stanky leg. It's whatever.
I planted and started doing this thing.
It did.
So, Hermanson versus Strickland was the next fight.
Yep.
That was really the only good fight on that card, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. You know, it's always one of those things after a pay-per-view, like I was saying. It's like, okay, let's just throw all these other guys their due. Maybe one fight left on a contract.
Yeah.
Sean Strickland's crazy.
Bro, I sat next to a guy on my flight back from my honeymoon who it was crazy. He was listening, or he had like his phone pulled up. He had one of those ones that folds in half, like the touchscreen one that folds in half. This man's watching horse races. I was like, that still happens? I know it does, but that's like the richest, whitest thing I've ever heard.
100% he bet on it. You don't watch that for fun.
Right. Yeah. And then like, and he's like, we're like on the plane, like, and like not in the air yet.
Yeah.
We're just getting ready to leave. We're like taxiing or whatever they call it. And he's like on the phone with his buddy talking about this horse race that they just watch. Oh yeah, it's a good horse. And like, you know, whatever horse people say. And then that night was the most recent one, the one I missed.
Oh, the last one?
Yeah, it was
Andrade and Lemos?
No, it was Volkanovski.
Oh, you're talking about the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And Korean Zombie.
And Korean Zombie. But then that was also Khamzat and Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching the prelims, and our flight got delayed to where it cut into the pay-per-view. But basically, there were some things that happened with the plane. The plane was delayed, so they gave us free stuff because of how delayed our flight was.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, we gave you guys free TV on your like the little TV things that are back there. And I found ESPN, and they had the prelims on.
That's awesome.
So I was watching the prelims.
Yeah.
And you know, you have to. He's sitting right next to me. We're like touching elbows. You know what I mean? So he literally was like, "Oh, you like the UFC?" And I was like, "Yeah, I like it a lot." And he goes, "My son, like, there was a son or daughter or somebody, a grandson or whatever it was. I don't know." But they basically, he knew Sean Strickland because he's from California. The guy I was talking to, and his son or whoever it was trains with Sean Strickland. Or knows, or some type of way that dude knows Sean Strickland. I thought it was super cool.
That is cool.
I was like, that dude's fucking crazy. Not the
He
guy
is
sitting next to him,
crazy.
Sean Strickland. Yeah,
His agent needs to get him on Twitter. He's talking about killing someone like once a week.
yeah, for sure. He's just entertaining.
He is
super entertaining.
He's definitely
just
good for
wild.
the sport. He's like a heel that everyone likes. It's a weird fit.
Yeah,
Like
yep,
another Khamzat.
Yeah.
yeah. It's like comes up, but different. Yeah.
I can't wait till we get to Khamzat.
Oh man, I. Okay.
Keep it moving.
All right, so UFC 271, Adesanya versus Whitaker. So,
Adesanya is just on a different level.
well, Whitaker stepped the fuck up
He
for that
did.
fight.
He definitely improved from the first time
So
they fought.
yeah,
100%.
that was a really like. Izzy is just so good.
Yeah.
You can't deny him being so good, but it was a very, very much closer than their first fight.
Yeah,
First
for
fight,
sure.
it was just domination.
Yeah.
This fight was much more like, it's like, yeah, Adesanya won, but it was much closer. Yeah. He fought a much more conservative fight. Not Adesanya, but Whitaker, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Bobby Green,
the people's champ.
I'm telling you. He fights so weird.
Yeah.
But it works. He's got the weirdest beard too, with like the zigzag.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel
bolt.
about that. Just lined up.
Bro, do it. I love.
And even on his head, he's got something similar.
like tattoos and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to fight him. I'd be scared.
So he was the opener for that main card, and he fought Nasrat
Hexbrat.
Haxparat.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good fight. But Bobby
Yeah.
Green just pieced him up that entire fight.
His jabs.
Bobby Green?
Yeah,
Oh,
just-
dude, he keeps his hands down.
In out. Yeah.
Well, so like, I was listening to his podcast with Joe Rogan, and he was talking about. He's like, the reason he does that is because everyone trains for punches coming straight at you or
Right.
from like above. Nobody trains for like coming below.
Yeah.
You know, so every punch he throws is like an uppercut because
Right.
his hands are coming from low.
Yeah.
And so if you're watching, because a lot of people when they fight, they look at your chest, but if your hands are below your chest, like you ever heard Mike Tyson on that TV show? He's talking. He's like, I look at your shoulders, and that he's like, because you're not going to punch me with your face. I'm not going to look at your face.
Right.
So he looks at your shoulders to see where you're coming from, and but imagine if your hands are low, like
Yeah.
even your shoulders is not a good tell.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's
He
super cool
disguises
style.
it so well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with the uppercuts, like he landed so many body shots early on. So then the dude's got to drop their guard, and that's when he's like, "Oh, I got you now."
yeah. And buenas noches. Good night.
Yeah. He's impressive.
Yeah, for sure. I like watching.
And he's
his
been
fights.
around forever.
Yeah.
Like I only started watching like 3 years ago, but then when you dig into the tape and stuff, he's
Yeah.
been around.
Yeah.
Definitely been a journeyman.
Yeah, he's got a really good trainer too, from what I understand.
That Cannonier and Brunson fight, that was a snoozer for a Coco.
Didn't Jared Cannonier win that fight though?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That one was so boring to me though. I know it was just.
It was. I didn't think it was that boring. It was only
Really?
2 rounds. Yeah, 2 rounds.
I think
and
every time Brunson's in a fight, I'm just like,
you just don't like
I'm
Brunson.
gonna get snacks.
Yeah. Well,
Ever since he beat Kevin Holland, I just something about him. I'm salty.
because the way he did it was just
Yeah.
not. I mean, but then again, a W is a W at
Yeah.
the end of the day.
I remember him saying like the week of this fight, he was like, after Jared, I'm gonna fight one more. So I was like, I'm pretty sure I bet on Jared because like anytime an athlete's like, I'm done, I'm just like, well,
Yeah,
you ain't gonna get my money then.
When you know the end is near, you start to dial it back, whether you even are thinking consciously about it
Yeah.
or not. You're
It's
just
still
going
on your
to.
mental at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
you're just going to.
For sure.
Yeah. So Jared Cannonier, he still looks fucking excellent when he fights.
Yeah.
I mean, he's first of all, the dude's built like a shit brick
Yeah,
house.
him going
like
to
a Greek
middleweight was
goddess.
huge for his career.
Yeah,
That transition was crazy.
He looks great. He's so fucking jacked.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Then you got Tai Tuivasa, Derek Lewis. Bro, that was a fight. I don't even know why I had, like, wherever you watched it, if you were sitting down, you're a disgrace. You should have
Yeah.
been standing. That fight was insane.
Yeah.
That was I mean, I was sitting for it, whatever. But it was so good. The whole time.
Yeah.
Where did we watch this fight, Colton? Did I watch it at your house?
I don't think so.
Bro, I don't even know. They all blend together. We watch it so often
know, yeah.
anymore that I literally just like, I don't know where I watched
I
it.
can't remember.
It might have been at my my nephew's on his computer or something.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Derek Lewis win round one?
No, it was like close.
It was
Very
Okay.
close. Because Derek Lewis, the craziest part about that fight was it the second round when this happened? Because it ended in the second round.
Yeah.
But you remember when Derek Lewis landed bombs on a bent over Tai Tuivasa? It was just there was no hand in
Yeah.
between Derek Lewis's fist and
Right.
Ty's face.
Yeah.
And Derek Lewis was landing clean power shots.
Yeah.
And Ty, I thought they almost stopped. They could have stopped it
Yeah.
there. They could have stopped
And
it
then it
there.
ended up being a good stoppage because then Tuivasa was like, I'm alive.
Yeah.
Well,
Tai Tuivasa is like, and here's my elbow.
yeah.
Yeah. Ty,
That elbow was beautiful.
that was. I would watch that fight like if they for every pay per view ever
Yeah.
just did Derek Lewis versus Tai Tuivasa. I
Yeah.
think it would be. I think it would be a back. Like if they ran it back again, I still think it would be a close fight.
Yeah, either way.
Yeah.
What I love about heavyweight fights is like that's why I was touched on who won round one because like at the end of the day, it don't even matter. 'Cause
Right.
You can get your light shut off within one.
Oh yeah.
In this division, it
That's
don't
why
matter
there's
who wins
weight,
rounds.
Yeah, that's why there's weight classes.
Yeah.
That is why there's weight classes because like
That elbow
to
is
act
filthy.
like Brendan Moreno has the same power as Tai Tuivasa.
Yeah.
It's like you just don't like it's like if you get hit by a smart car,
Yeah.
it's not going to do as much damage as if a semi hit you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, Tuivasa. That was the biggest one of his career.
Yeah.
Especially at being an underdog.
He has done nothing but capitalize too since I forget what fight it was where he got a lot of
It was when he knocked out Greg Hardy.
was it? Was that the one where he's just like,
all the
just
homies hate
skyrocketed?
Greg Hardy.
Really?
Yeah,
Why is
don't-
that?
He beat up one of his girlfriends.
Maybe she was being a bitch. I'm just kidding.
That boy got kicked out of the NFL because of that, and then the UFC was like,
What
"We'll
if she
take
burnt
you."
dinner though? No, I'm kidding. Just
Canceled.
kidding. Just jokes. Yeah, whatever. If I'm big enough to be canceled, we're doing good.
There you go.
Yeah. No, that was wait, because he has done nothing but capitalize since he's been getting like the crowd behind him. So very impressed.
The whole Shuey thing is crazy.
Yes.
I mean, now all the fighters are doing it. Like when Jamal Hill
when he fought Greg Hardy, what was that card? Because that had to be a big card. It had to be like a McGregor card or something.
Yeah, it was definitely. I think he was on a prelim of a pay-per-view. I don't remember who headlined it, but I'm pretty sure he was on a pay-per-view that day.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this was his first pay-per-view
Can you pull
fight.
up his Wikipedia, Tai Tuivasa Wikipedia?
I know he's on like a 3 or maybe even 5 fight win streak. Like he's been winning.
Yeah, because I want to see. I'm really curious what fight it was, because it was a huge card. And then scroll all the way to the bottom. That'll be his record and shit.
UFC 264.
Yeah, click on UFC. Poirier versus McGregor. Yeah, I see. I knew. I was like, remember I was like, it had to be a McGregor fight.
Yeah, but whenever he beat Greg Hardy,
that was on that fight. That was on that fight.
The crowd went absolutely crazy because, I mean, it was a round 1 or 2. So.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was before Stephen Thompson and Gilbert Burns. Yeah. So he made, and that was in round 1, a minute.
And
round
Greg Hardy's one of those dudes. He wasn't really great for the UFC. It's just he had such a big name that he
Because
got put on
of
every
football,
pay-per-view.
right?
Yeah, he was on the Vikings and the Panthers.
Have
That
you?
was the Sean O'Malley Chris Moutinho fight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tino
That was
got
a
pieced
crazy card. That was a crazy card. McGregor versus Poirier. That was the one where Connor broke his leg.
Yeah.
Yep. That was a crazy night. So he had a lot of eyes on him and he capitalized.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. No, have you ever heard the joke too? Like I'm gonna like make a joke about Greg Hardy now. It's like you ever heard was it Neil Brennan? He made a joke about like he's like football players when they get in fights outside of football. It's like, well, they're just practicing football outside of football. And Greg, I mean, everybody wants Greg Hardy to lose.
100%. And he's gone now.
Yeah. Oh, did they cut him?
Yeah, he lost his most recent. I forgot who it was against.
He lost like 4 in a row.
Yeah.
He's never not.
It was
not
a
been-
name value thing.
Not been super impressed. And then Tai Tuivasa said "Buenas noches" in a minute.
He was on the Cowboys back in the day.
Yeah.
Sergey Tuivasa. Yeah.
Spy.
I mean, those were some
Spivak.
big names though,
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah,
but
but
his
I mean,
his 2 wins, those dudes aren't in the UFC now either. Maurice Green and DeCastro, they're both in different promotions.
yeah,
So
doesn't do much for me. All right.
good riddance.
So then Adesanya versus Whitaker after that. Adesanya, I just did what Adesanya does.
Yeah, he's
he just
different.
said, I know how to win and I'm good at it. And here's his feints are insane.
Yeah.
What's his next fight? Didn't they announce his next fight?
I don't know if they booked him yet.
Who do you want to see him fight?
I kind of want to see how he would do against Cannonier. I feel
Yeah.
like that'd be a good fight.
Yeah, I think he said that Cannonier has earned a shot after that.
Because I feel like if you're gonna beat Izzy, I mean, one, it's gonna be hard, but I feel like you gotta get knocked out.
Yeah.
You're not gonna technically beat that dude in a decision.
You know,
IMO.
you know it's coming soon too. When that was it? What's
Pereira?
the guy who knocked him
Yeah.
out? You know that's
Eventually-
coming soon. UFC loves the fact
He's
that there's a
2-0
video
now.
of
Yeah.
Adesanya getting slept from that dude in
Yeah.
kickboxing.
Yeah,
You know that's
dude's
coming.
2-0 now in the
Yeah.
UFC.
Yeah, I mean, I think his next fight's is it Alex
Yeah, I think it's Alex Pereira.
Pereira? Yeah. I mean, I think his next fight is a big step up in competition too.
Yeah,
And so I think they're trying to build up. They're trying to set him up and set up Izzy so that way in the next year, or
Yeah.
I'm hoping next year, those
Izzy's
two.
one
are
of the. He'll
teeing
probably have the
off.
belt by then too. I mean,
Who?
Izzy, he'll probably still be champ by the time.
Oh yeah.
Pereira gets
No,
ready.
I don't see. What? Let's see. Whitaker. You have Paulo Costa, which
Who knows if he even comes? Like, I don't know.
yeah. I'm not interested in Paulo Costa anymore.
And
honestly.
Whitaker's had 2 shots now.
Vittori,
Vittori's lost to him.
Good night.
Sean Strickland would be fine.
Sean Strickland would. Yeah. I want to see Sean Strickland versus Costa.
Yeah,
That would be a fucking kick-ass fight.
I would take Strickland.
Yeah, it would be a good fight because Sean Strickland's not scared of
Right.
sitting there and teeing off with Costa,
Right.
and Costa's not scared of it either.
Someone's getting slept.
Yeah, for sure. That would be a banger.
But just looking at all those middleweights, I don't see any of them beating Izzy.
The closest one I would say would be Whitaker. The crazy part is like if Israel Adesanya wasn't in that weight division,
Yeah.
Robert Whitaker's champ.
Oh,
Like no
100%.
doubt, he's champ. Because I don't see anybody else on that list. Maybe Strickland and then maybe Costa. But Whitaker and Costa have fought before, I believe, haven't they?
Yeah.
Like many moons ago.
And then Whitaker's beat Cannonier, I believe.
Yeah,
So
I think
at the top of the
Whitaker.
list.
I think Whitaker would be champ. It's just like
Yeah.
Colby Covington would be champ if it wasn't for Kamaru
Right.
Usman.
Yeah.
Like Dustin Poirier would be champ if it wasn't for Oliveira.
Right.
Well, and then Islam's coming over. And
Yeah, I don't know. That lightweight division, anyone could be it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah. Benil Dariush. I wanted to see him fight Islam so bad
Yeah, they got to rebook that.
because that was the one where Bobby Green stepped in. I wanted to see that so, bro. I would have called out of work. I would have like left the hospital.
would've
I would
been
have
good one
done
for
whatever
sure.
to see that. Like I would have just done it. Like
Mm-hmm.
that fight would have been so good. Benil Dariush and
Islam.
Islam
I think we'll
Makhachev.
get it eventually.
I hope so. I hope so. All right, Colton. Let's go back to the cards. And then Walker versus Hill is the next event, which we can keep moving.
That was an easy money. Jamal Hill, I think I talked about him whenever we did our predictions.
I've heard his name before. I don't think I've watched him fight before.
His striking,
Oh.
he was the dude that fought Jack Hermanson about a year ago, and he like broke his.
Yeah, he got his arm broken.
Yeah, he wouldn't tap, so they just.
Jamal Hill?
Yeah.
Dislocated his elbow.
Yeah, and
Jamal
it was
Hill?
just- yeah, he was doing the robot
Yeah.
No.
for real.
Literally, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
do
He
remember
was just
that.
standing there, and it was just kind of just.
He was
And
legit.
he literally he wanted to keep fighting.
He was
too.
telling the ref, he's like, "I'm good," and the ref's like, "Look at your arm, bro."
Yeah. That's right. He wanted
And
to keep
so
fighting.
He came back and
What a fucking
he's a G for that.
legit.
But I was talking about it whenever we were making our predictions. Like that's the prospect for this division. Like he's nice. His hands are so crispy.
Yeah. Well, his elbow wasn't that fight, but
Right. Hey, he bounced back. Johnny
Yeah.
Walker's so chinny now.
yeah, what Johnny Walker is it feels like the difference between him being like higher up in the rankings
Yeah.
and where he is now. He's like it's like there's like one fine tune adjustment that they need to make. I don't know what it is, but it seems like he's so close
He
but
needs
so
chin
far.
surgery. That boy gets connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's I don't know. And then Makhachev versus Green.
Bobby Green's such a G.
I didn't know who to pick for that fight. Honestly, I knew it was on short notice, but like Bobby Green is so good that like when that fight was getting ready to happen, I literally was like,
And Green legit fought 2 cards ago from that point on when he beat Nasrat. Remember we were just talking
yeah.
about him?
He literally was a 2-week notice.
Yep.
And he's like stepping. He's like anybody can get it. And I mean that was he even though he lost.
Yeah.
But that just
Islam's
shows you
doing this to everyone though, so you can't
Islam
be mad at Green.
is so good, and Bobby Green's a decent wrestler too.
Yeah.
And Islam's just like okay, you don't even understand.
When you see anyone a minus 900 favorite versus Bobby Green,
Yeah, that's.
it's insane. Like I had Islam to win, but no way would I bet minus 900.
we all know what we want to happen. This is what everybody wants. I've took a poll. Everyone wants this. They want to see Khabib come back and take his belt back from Islam.
He's not gonna do
He
it.
won't.
I didn't say he's going to.
That's his boy.
You know,
That's his prodigy.
if you on your birthday you're getting ready to blow out your candles and you close your eyes and make a wish, you go, please let Khabib come back. Don't
He's not
tell
gonna
me
be
you don't
with
want
Islam,
Khabib to
bro.
come
I
back.
don't. He doesn't need to.
He
It's
doesn't.
Islam's
No.
division
He
now.
doesn't need to. But it's like it's the same way when GSP retired. It's just like, just one more, just for me.
You can't
It's like
go
it's like
against the fam, though.
as a fan, I get so selfish when I'm literally just like, oh, it was so
Go
good,
download UFC 4 then.
bro,
Saying-
bro. But it's not. I want to see Khabib go in there with a broken foot and just put a triangle on Justin Gaethje. You know what I mean? Like he's just.
I feel like Khabib's so selfish. He'd probably let Islam win. Just like, look at this dude.
No,
He's even
I,
beating me.
I think he'll do like what Kamaru is doing with Adesanya. Kamaru's like, I'm not going to go up in weight class and fight Izzy if he's got the belt. He's like, if anyone else has the belt, I'll go take it from
Yeah,
him. But
I feel that.
yeah, it's just respect, and I don't think Khabib would do that to Makhachev. It's Khabib says my time is gone. This
Yeah.
is his time. Khabib
To have
he's doing
Khabib in the
things.
corner is the biggest cheat code
Bro,
in all of sports.
with no audience.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's
was
the biggest
insane.
cheat code ever.
Because then he's like, okay, when you grab him, just throw him down next to me, and then
Yeah.
we'll
He's
yeah.
like, pass your leg over, just like guide him.
Yeah, literally
Yeah,
those
yeah.
videos that surface of
Yeah.
that, I was like,
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, and Khabib's like, go behind the head, grab his head. Okay, now wrap your arm around, put your leg over. All right, cool. Now you're good.
do you
Bend his
guys
arm
think
backwards.
anyone in the lightweight could beat Islam?
I have 2 people. I don't think they can beat him per se.
3 could.
3. Who's your third?
I mean, I feel like Chandler could if he wanted to.
Michael Chandler.
Yeah. If he wanted, like, if you get hit him with a good shot.
But then if we're just talking about power, then but it's the same thing with Connor. Connor has like crazy power, and he didn't do shit to Khabib.
I feel like Islam's kind of like Cyril in terms of like he doesn't take any damage. And so it's like it needs to be almost like a submission guy, but then who can get him to the ground?
I think
it's tough to like.
I think Beneil or Charles are the only two people that would run his credit.
Yeah.
I think everyone else is just gonna get Dan Hooker just mutilated and Bobby Green mutilated. It's he's just gonna grab you. He's gonna take you into deep water really fucking quick.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't play with his food. Like he got Bobby Green out there in 4 minutes?
No.
It was like 2.
Yeah.
2 or 3 something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was one takedown. He's like, I'm gonna hold you.
Yeah.
Like,
It was 3 minutes and 20 something seconds.
so you ain't getting out, Playboy.
Yeah, I think there's no. I don't think there's people to beat Islam.
Yeah.
I maybe I would not be able to bet if it was Beneil Dariush or Charles Oliveira.
Yeah.
Just because both of those guys' ground games are.
Right.
I mean,
Sensational.
to do what Beneil Dariush did to, or I guess what both of them did to Tony Ferguson. With
Has
Tony
Beneil
Ferguson,
been rebooked yet?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's still out.
I don't think so.
Gotcha.
I think we would hear about it because he's
Yeah.
so high up in the
Yeah, he's
rankings.
big.
All right, so Greg Hardy lost again. Woohoo!
All the homies hate Greg Hardy.
Kevin Holland
I love
return.
Kevin Holland.
Oh, doesn't everybody? And I love
Yeah.
Alex Oliveira too. Cowboy.
Yeah.
Oliveira.
He's been around. You
Yeah.
gotta give him his flowers.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time you watch, it's like watching a veteran fight. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And then
for
Kevin Holland was so respectful too because he got to fight
Shit was great.
yeah, loved that fight. Kevin Holland's just so
His
entertaining.
takedown defense is getting a little bit better too. That's all we needed at Kevin Holland. Because his striking is up there in the division.
He doesn't like wrestling, but after he lost so many times to wrestlers, he's like, "Fuck it, I guess I got to do this."
off the Dagestan.
Exactly. Right. Training with Khabib in the mountains. Okay, that fight. You didn't pick Bryce to win that fight, did you?
I ended up did.
Bryce-
I remember you were texting me every day because Bryce is your boy. I remember
Bryce,
you would,
where's my camo shorts? Fucking love him. Every time I put a microphone in my face, I'm gonna say Arkansas.
every morning I would get a good morning text from Ryan. He wouldn't even say good morning. He would just be like, "Who's winning this fight?" I was like,
Yeah.
Ryan, I don't know.
He
I'm back and
fought.
forth.
Bryce Mitchell fought Edson Barboza.
It's a flex, and especially to win unanimously.
Dude,
that's a flex.
I'd rather fight a pack of wolves than Edson Barboza.
Yeah.
Edson Barboza is just fucking, because at least I know the wolves are gonna kill me. Edson
Yeah.
Barboza is just gonna make me want to die. Edson Barboza is
He's
such
got
a
power.
savage. I honestly, when I said Bryce Mitchell, because this is how I math in my brain when it comes to this. I go Edson Barboza, fantastic stand-up fighter, but then you look at like what Khabib did to him. Just there's no answer for that. And Bryce has that same style of
Yeah,
like,
he's got good grappling.
I'm going to smother you.
Yeah, his pressure is insane.
Yeah. And Bryce Mitchell, he does stand up a little bit, but it's mostly like, I mean, he's got the only submissions by Twister in the UFC.
Right.
Yeah. And then he had a fight where he didn't even get the dude in a Twister, but he had like 15 Twister attempts in 3 rounds. Like, when he gets to the ground, it seems like the other dude is just laying there and Bryce is doing what he wants to.
Right.
And
It just feels like a sparring match.
yeah, he is getting so good at that style
Yeah.
too.
And he's getting popular now because everyone loves the camo shorts, you know.
Well, it's like, do you know who Jocko is? Jocko Willing?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things Jocko said about when he talks about jiu-jitsu, and he's like, if you're going to learn any martial art, learn one where it's on the ground.
Yeah.
Because if you're standing up and you have an altercation, you can just run away.
Right.
You can just get away. If someone's trying to punch you, you can just run away. If you can't run away, if they're trying to punch you, at least you have a way to avoid at that
Right.
point. But if someone grabs you and holds you, there's no way to get away from
Yeah.
it. So like with jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, like anytime where there's a fight like that where it's a great stand-up guy versus somebody who's really good on the ground. Like, same way with Stephen Thompson when he fought Gilbert Burns. Stephen Thompson's a motherfucker.
Right.
But Gilbert Burns,
Yeah.
fantastic ground game. So I
Right.
was like, yeah, I just automatically go to the person because it's just like, it's almost like a secret weapon in your back pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can just take him
The
to the
grappling.
ground. Yeah. Take him to the ground, hold him down.
That's why I'm like with Islam. I'm like, who is he not gonna be able to take
It'd
down?
have to be a great, I mean, the good part about Charles is he's like, I'm on your back. You didn't see, he
Right.
just tap you out standing up.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Islam will be ready for that because Charles has the nastiest guillotine.
Yeah.
The nastiest guillotine. Nastiest rear naked choke. Like,
Something about him. I
he's
don't
just
like
so.
him.
You don't like Charles Oliveira?
Every time I pick against him and he takes my money, and I'm just like, "You're actually a boss." And every time another fight comes up, I'm like, I think he's gonna lose it this time.
He used to have. I mean, he's got a relatively fragile chin.
Yeah.
Like he's been dropped,
Right.
but he has learned. He used to have quit in him. I guess that was the thing. Like Brendan Schaub, one of the things he was saying about him is he's like, I don't think that ever goes away. And I was like, I'm pretty sure you can train quit out of you.
Right.
And literally, Charles Oliveira, it seems like he hit a new wavelength. It's like he got a new like a mantra in his head or something
Right.
like that, where he's just like, I'll I'll die before I stop.
Yeah.
And when he fought Michael Chandler and got dropped, and then the same thing when he fought. Who was the last person he fought? Was it Poirier?
Yeah.
Poirier dropped him too, I believe, or at least
in round 1.
or wobbled him. Yeah. I told you. I think we talked about it last time. I was like, every time Charles has fought in round 1, he gets wobbled.
He overcomes adversity.
Yeah, round 1 is his worst round, and then after that, he just puts on a fucking clinic until the Dustin Poirier fight's a little sad in the second round because he grabbed his glove.
Yeah,
and that got him to the ground.
I was pissed about that.
Yeah, he cheated. That was messed up.
Fucked.
Yeah.
And I bet Poirier that fight. I was like, you mother.
It would have been
We could talk about that more for the Gaethje fight, though. Whenever we talk about future fights. We'll get more into-
But Edson Barboza, absolute savage. Bryce Mitchell, absolute savage, just dominated that fight. That was a really good fight. I don't know why that one wasn't before the next one. Rafael dos Anjos versus Renato Moicano.
It was a good ass fight.
It
It was, but I don't feel like those guys have as much notoriety as Barboza and Mitchell.
RDA is definitely more popular. Moicano had a lot of buzz because he came in similar to Bobby Green. He came like 2 weeks notice, and he was just trying to get a check.
Yeah,
and then RDA
that was a good fight. That was a good fight.
Yeah,
for sure. Because Renato Moicano, he did not get demolished. I mean, he definitely lost, but he did not get demolished.
Right.
It was like he took a ass whooping like a man.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
He did.
They almost stopped it a couple times.
Yeah. It was close.
Sure.
It was close because Rafael dos Anjos, his pace is just fucking crazy.
Yeah, he doesn't gas out.
No, he's just like he's turned up to 90 when you're going fucking 15.
Yeah.
And then talk about another person with a gas tank, Colby Covington, Jorge Masvidal.
He made that look so easy. Did he not?
I hate it.
I mean, he did make it look easy, but it was so frustrating to watch Jorge Masvidal not be able to do anything.
Yeah.
Because like you wanted him to get his piece. You know what I mean? Like I kind of wanted.
But he did.
Well,
after
that was
the scene.
That's
he couldn't do it in a ring sanctioned for 25 minutes, so he had to wait till after.
And then catch him by surprise.
Yeah.
But Jorge's that guy.
I mean, he
Talk shit. He said it's on site, and he fucking.
I'm just like, you had 25 minutes to do it on site though,
Yeah.
or you couldn't get in trouble.
Yeah. But there's rules.
Yeah.
There's rules, and I feel like if he had 25 minutes on the street with Colby Covington, Covington would have been soccer kicked.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say dead.
Well,
He would have took as many
Yeah.
cheap shots as he could, like knee to the head when he's on the
Right.
ground. There's rules that you
Yeah, I
can't
get
do.
that.
if it was a street fight, it would.
Yeah.
It would be a lot closer if it was a straight up street fight, because then he's trying to soccer kick Colby Covington
Right.
in the head when he tries to go for a fucking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
So-
know. It was sad, disappointing. I kind of wanted them to see. I mean, granted, Colby, his way of talking shit to get more publicity. I understand it, but you make enemies like that.
So what do you guys think is next for Colby as far as fight wise? I feel like you can't give him Usman again.
Pull
just
up
yet.
that weight class. Was that 170? Yeah, because it's
Welterweight.
Usman.
So I'm just like, Burns just lost to Khamzat. Do you do Covington and
Covington
Khamzat?
Khamzat.
Because a lot of people are saying Edwards deserves
What about-
the next shot at Usman.
What about Burns Covington? I haven't thought about that one before.
I don't know. I just feel like you got to give someone that's on a winning streak against Covington. That's why I'm just like,
But Burns, he's got an L on his record against Khamzat, but he
Right.
did not
It's
lose.
not a bad loss.
No, nobody
Right.
lost that fight. Nobody lost.
but then it's also like,
Literally.
Right.
I mean, in fact, I had it whenever I watched it. Take that with a grain of salt. I watched a phone recording that was messaged to
Yeah.
me from Colton. Oh, never mind. No, I didn't. UFC. No, I didn't. I watched it.
I was about to say,
We
it
paid
looks
for
like a
the pay-per-view.
YouTube video of like an old fight. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it was super blurry. It was super blurry. It might not have been that fight. I have no fucking clue. It was so blurry because when you text message video, it does that.
Yeah.
And I, from what I saw though, I was more convinced Gilbert won that fight. I mean,
I didn't
but I
think
wasn't
so.
convinced one way
Yeah.
or the other. Like after watching it, I literally was like, that was a fucking banger. The saddest part was it was only 3 5-minute rounds.
that was a
That
great
should have been a
fight.
5-round fight.
Yeah, UFC. I bought the pay-per-view and watched it, and I thought,
Me too.
shots fired. I thought Khamzat won for sure, but it's like, okay, so Muhammad might have the biggest win streak.
Khalil Muhammad.
Yeah, I mean they didn't count the Leon Edwards one. I feel like you got to run Muhammad and Edwards again because of the eye poke thing. Even though Leon Edwards was dominating, but you gotta give Muhammad another chance. 'Cause
Boy, when
keeps
he
winning.
every time I think about Leon Edwards in my head, all I see is Leon Edwards like, huh? Whenever, like when his
Oh,
face went
Diaz?
loose against
Yeah.
Nate Diaz.
Yeah,
Bro, talk about take my money fight. Where is Nate Diaz not on that list? Why is he not on that list?
He don't win. Not anymore.
He just fought Leon Edwards, who's number 2.
He lost though.
Yeah, but he's not even the top 15
I just feel like he's
anymore?
not active enough for them to put him in there.
He's not. He didn't fight that much.
I think he's talking about one more fight and then he's out.
So Covington versus Nate would be a fucking legit fight. Imagine the shit talking.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine the shit talking. Give it to me, UFC.
It would definitely make the UFC some money.
Oh, but I think Covington wins though. But Nate's got good wrestling too.
Yeah.
That would be a pretty good fight.
The
That'd be a pretty good
welterweight's so
fight.
interesting to
And
me
they both
'cause,
have
like,
gas tanks
They
too.
do have a lot. Yeah. You gotta make that a
Nate will go
5-rounder.
farther than Colby.
Even if it's not a.
No, 10.
15.
Fuck it. No, just 5-minute rounds until someone stops.
Yeah.
25 minutes straight.
Someone has to die.
No.
No time. Just let's just go until the ref stops it. Yeah.
Nate will still be there like, come on.
Yeah, and I think Colby would too.
Just slapping him.
I think they'd be fighting with broken arms and shit. Like it'd be ridiculous. Like his arm bone would be sticking out. He'd be trying to stab him.
And then Usman comes out and is like, I'll defend the belt against both of them right now. Let me at him. Like
Yeah,
20
Usman's
rounds
like,
in.
I don't even have my right knee right now. Let's just fight.
Yep.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah,
So
that
good.
division, it's like, I feel like it's going to be Khamzat or no one against Usman. Because Usman's pretty much beat these other dudes.
I know that just from like my thought, those like Burns against Usman was completely different than Burns against Khamzat. So
Agreed.
to me, Khamzat, it would be good. I think. Do you want to see Khamzat versus Covington?
I would like to see that.
Because Covington's talking a lot of shit. I would love to see that too.
Yeah.
Khamzat destroys Covington.
Really bold statement.
I
It's a
don't know who I would
bold
go with there
statement.
yet.
I think Colby Covington would win that fight.
It's weird
Honestly,
because
I like Covington. I really wish he was just
I hate
himself.
Covington.
I really wish
He's
he was
such
just
like an unnecessary heel.
But you know he's like that for a reason.
care.
But he's doing the same thing Floyd Mayweather did.
There's a way to trash talk.
Right. No. But you understand.
Covington gives me like WWE vibes.
But he's doing it because it gets him more people tune in to watch him fight because they want to see him lose, and that's the
Be
same.
an asshole without being that level of an asshole.
He's a different level asshole than so Floyd Mayweather did it with money, and just was like this flaunty rich asshole, right? But Covington is doing it like to a next level because he doesn't have Floyd Mayweather money.
Right.
So at the end of the day, that man is looking out for his career, and I don't blame him. And I mean, you heard him after the Usman fight when he like got into, hey man, it's all love. Like, you know, I just do this to try and I'm doing it for the money.
That's
you know
also
that.
why he gets, Masvidal sucker punching him at a restaurant because he talks that little
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, he reminds me of a WWE star.
Yeah, I wish he didn't. I wish he didn't do that. But the UFC was going to cut him at one point, no matter if he won or
I
lose.
don't disagree with
And
that.
so he just went out and he's like, Brazil, you're a shithole. I fucking hate. Like, and he just started talking shit because
That's why he's getting two-pieced.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but still, I mean, you can't deny that everyone who knows him outside of a camera and a microphone being on him knows that he's an incredible person.
Yeah.
Like anyone who, and that's people that are super nice on camera that say that.
It's not enough for Colton.
Cameron Haynes. No, I'm not. I'm on same side as you guys. I'm on same side as you guys. I'm just saying I'm putting it all out there. Like it's
If
close.
you're gonna talk the shit, back it up. Don't call the cops like a little bitch after you get in a fight at a restaurant. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. I'll agree with that.
Okay.
I'll agree with
If
that.
you're gonna talk the shit, back it up and fight.
I'll agree with that.
Don't run away with your security and go to the cops.
Yeah,
We all
Masvidal
drink
can't
to
even
that.
come within. Yeah, Masvidal can't even come within 25 feet of him or
Yeah.
500 feet of his house. They can't talk on social media, text, or anything like that.
Apparently he has brain damage now. From that hit.
Yeah,
Really?
that one kind of confused
That
me. Yeah,
was like-
there was an article or a statement that he said. I'm just like, how do you go against Usman, get cleaned out, like
Yeah.
Masvidal fight, but now you have brain
Supposed
damage.
from
Well,
that hit.
have you ever seen someone get cold cocked when they weren't expecting it?
That's true.
I watched a dude do that in high school.
I'm like,
We were all walking away from lunch, and there's like a giant crowd, and I was like, I saw my buddy. I was like, hey man, what's up? And he goes, shh, look at, and I'm not gonna say any names. He's like, look at him. I might have said it on another podcast. I don't fucking.
I think you did.
John Doe.
But he's like, look at him, and I like looked at him, and he just fucking just went to the dude next to him, bro. Literally,
yeah, if you're not expecting it, it's gonna.
so hard. The dude immediately like hit the ground sideways
Yeah.
and was like blood coming out of his mouth.
I just feel some type of way when I hear that from a UFC like contender. Like, you probably had brain damage before that, homie. Let's
Yeah.
not say it now.
Fair enough. That's fair. That's fair. Especially after Usman broke his jaw.
100%.
Yeah.
But that's what Masvidal's known for doing. He said that's what he does in the streets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to win, that's how you win.
Well, you want to. I mean, you can't talk about a man's
No.
like
Masvidal slice.
Talk as much shit about me as you want. You start bringing up my wife, and if I had kids, you start bringing up my kids.
Yeah.
That's a good way. I mean, that's a good way to get shot. Not even just
So that's how I
Yeah,
feel.
I know. No, same side, same thing. I'm just saying, Colby Covington, stylistically, you would like him 1,000% better if he was like Stephen Thompson. Yeah, but he would have never gotten to Stephen Thompson
As
level.
long as- if you talk the same level of trash, I'm good. Just don't bring wife and kids.
Yeah, don't make it
and
personal.
family into
I
it.
just don't like that he's like that.
You can make it personal to the fighter,
Right.
but don't make it to
Right.
outside.
I
the
don't.
fight.
I don't like that he's like that all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like do it in the right circle. Like literally, Joe Rogan would be like, "All right, Colby, what do you think about this fight coming up?" And he's like, "Fuck that!" And he just like starts going off, and it's just like, dude, like,
Chill.
literally. But I get it. He's a bad motherfucker.
Have you
when
guys
it
ever
comes
seen
to
like
fights.
his promotions or sponsors like Fight Week on his Instagrams?
Yeah, he's like
Biggest douche ever.
yeah, he's just got like chicks in bikinis with their tits out, and he's just like,
He's like, "What's up, virgin?"
you know, what's up, nerds and virgins? It's the people's champ from Colby Covington Incorporated or whatever. Yeah, but you can tell he's doing all of that. Like, it's not really who he
he's
is.
scripted for sure.
He's specifically like when he does like his Bang Energy like commercials. He's acting, and it's terrible acting,
It is
but he's
terrible.
acting, and you can
Yeah.
tell. And that's what I'm saying. I wish he didn't do that,
Yeah.
but the UFC incentivized him to be that way.
Right. He's definitely the heel of the UFC right now.
Oh, no doubt. All right, so that was a wrecking ball path. Covington versus
Right.
Masvidal, and then Santos versus Ankalaev. Ankalaev's just a savage.
Yeah.
And then
It's
I
like,
think
you wouldn't mess with-
Santos's best years are behind him. Unfortunately,
You see Ankalaev, like, he's like, he just looks like a Khabib. Like, don't mess with that dude.
Yeah.
legit. He looks like. Did you ever watch The Office?
Yep.
He looks like Dwight's cousin.
Yeah.
Or Dwight? No, his
Mose.
cousin. Yeah, Mose. Yeah, was it his
Mose.
cousin? It's his cousin, right?
I think it's his brother.
Whatever he was. He
Brother
looks like
Mose.
Mose. Everyone who watches The Office, they understand the reference. Then Volkov versus Aspinall.
This was
Snoozer.
so dope.
Yeah.
To be in the United Kingdom though, and build it up for Aspinall. That was an early finish, wasn't it? Wasn't that round
I
one?
didn't even watch it, honest with you. 100% didn't
I
watch
was about to
it.
say that was a good one.
Anytime I see Volkov's name, if it's on a card, if
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not the main
submission.
event. Oh, Dan Hooker was in that fight?
Yeah, this was a good United Kingdom.
I didn't remember.
You
I
heard
didn't-
snooze. I was like,
Oh, yeah, no. Wait, no, I did watch that. I just didn't watch the main event. When it got to Volkov, I was like, it's time to go to bed.
that Topuria fight was so crazy because Jai Herbert almost finished him the entire round one, and Topuria is undefeated.
This was a good card.
Yeah, this
I
was a good
remember
one.
this, Yeah.
And that crowd was insane. But Topuria
Yeah,
was
because Patty
literally-
Pimblett.
and
Pimblett?
McCain,
Yeah.
they
Pimblett,
both-
Pimblett.
Yeah.
Patty the Batty fought.
Molly
Yeah.
McCann spinning elbow.
Oh,
I missed that one.
That's early knockout of the year.
yes.
Yeah.
Like Luana's face already looks crazy in that picture.
It was fun.
So imagine, it literally looked like a peacock. Like I can't even. It was so deformed.
It was good.
And then Gunnar Nelson was pretty cool. He was off like a 4 or 5 year like fight layoff, and he came back. And
Yeah. When you got a mustache like that, you better back it up.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
has to be Gunner.
He
Right.
definitely is a cop
Literally.
on weekdays, like volunteering.
Yeah. Or a firefighter.
Yeah.
Something. And then Patty versus that Kazula Vargos.
Yeah.
That was a good fight. Patty's
Yeah.
just
Patty the Batty.
so good.
He's so entertaining.
3
His
minutes.
dance moves are so terrible that like they end up looking
His hat,
cool.
his hat, basically his hat.
is
His
hat.
hair is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like ridiculous. And then Dan Hooker versus. Why is Volkov versus Aspinall the main event?
It's because they were in United Kingdom,
Yeah.
and Aspinall is from there, and Molly McCann and like Patty Blimble, like they're all from
Pimblett,
that
yeah,
area. So they
yeah.
all built it up, and Arnold Allen. No one was talking about Arnold Allen.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, Dan Hooker. I didn't.
Is Dan Hooker done?
He should be.
He keeps losing. Like everyone loves him for what he did for the sport.
He's a company man.
Yeah, but
he's
he's
a
on such a
company man.
losing
This
streak.
needs to stop.
Yeah, but
Ever since Michael Chandler, I feel like, or maybe it was even the Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier didn't finish him, but
dude, that fight was.
it was a banger.
Talk about one of the best fights to ever happen in the UFC.
It was a good
We're talking top 10 fights in UFC. Dan Hooker versus Dustin Poirier makes that list. For
That was a
sure.
great one.
Because they're both like on hospital stretcher beds,
Yeah.
like fucking.
Especially Hooker took so much damage.
Yeah.
And then he comes, and then Michael Chandler makes his debut. Hooker gets knocked out first round.
Because I mean, honestly, and like, I think you guys would agree that was probably the closest he's ever been to death.
That was bad.
Yeah, like brain damage, like your whole body. Like I don't think he moved for the next week.
Yeah. So he lost to Poirier, Chandler. I think he came back and beat someone, and then I think he lost to So I think he's like 1-4, maybe 1-5 in his last 5. That's bad.
I don't.
Let's
Unfortunately, don't see Dan Hooker ever being champ.
No, I mean he's definitely on the downfall. Yeah, so look at that, 1-4,
I mean, granted, he beat Nasrat.
and then everyone's losing to
Nasrat.
Islam. So it's like,
Yeah,
but
Michael Chandler.
Nasrat's over here losing.
But look at the names he's lost to.
Right.
Besides Arnold Green, like Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler, Islam Makhachev.
Barboza.
He lost to Edson Barboza, but I mean, all of those. Yar Rodriguez. Yar Rodriguez is a savage too. But those are all good names.
But his one win in the last 2 years was Nasrat, who's losing to Bobby Green.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, yeah, but Bobby Green's really good.
also
You said that,
Dan
Bobby
Hooker's
Green-
like main event type dude, and every time he gets that step up in competition, he's getting beat.
yeah,
Good
he's a good fight night person.
Yeah,
Yeah, he beat Gilbert Burns. Wow, I didn't know that.
that
By
Michael
knockout.
Chandler debut, knocking out Hooker in round 1 was crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was Michael Chandler's debut, right? Isn't that what you just said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
But then since then, Islam's finished him round 1, Arnold Allen's finished him round 1. I mean, he's just getting pieced up now.
How did Arnold Allen? Oh, sorry, I should probably get on the mic. How did Arnold Allen beat him?
It was a TKO.
TKO. Okay, I don't remember.
I think he had him clinched up and started hitting some elbows, and
Oh yeah. And he just wasn't. He didn't have an answer for it.
yeah,
It was just too
Aspinall's
much.
definitely a prospect though in the heavyweight division. I like him,
He looks small for a heavyweight though, doesn't he?
but he's like the fastest hitter in the division.
Yeah,
That's
probably
his-
because he has less weight on him
Yeah.
than most of them.
like his pocket was so clean against Volkov. He was just in and out.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember watching those fights. I remember seeing Patty and Molly. I
They
think
were
I just
super
watched
early
it
in
just
the
to
day.
watch.
You might have had to go somewhere because since it was United Kingdom, the whole time difference was crazy over here.
Yeah.
So they were probably like
Yeah.
lunchtime cards or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. After that was Blades versus Dawkins.
This was I really
Dawkins
like
win?
this one.
Did
No,
Dawkins-
Blades knocked him out, which
All right. Like.
everyone knows Curtis Blades as I'm gonna take you down, best grappler in the UFC. So for him to finish Blades or for him to finish Dawkins,
yeah.
I'm sorry, for him to finish him,
Dawkins is so likable. Him and his brother, both the Dawkinses.
yeah.
Chris
But now it's like
Dawkins,
Dawkins, you get finished by Derek Lewis, and now Curtis Blades. I mean,
Kai Kara France had an amazing fight that fight.
yeah, this was a sneaky good card.
Yeah.
To beat Askarov, that was pretty crazy because Askarov was getting talked about as the one to dethrone Moreno Figgy.
Yeah. And then Kai Kara France put on a clinic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Barbarina Matt Brown fight was crazy. Two dudes that been around for a while.
Yep.
I have a story about Joanne Wood.
I don't think I watched any of these fights, to be honest.
So whenever I was looking at Fight Study, for whatever reason, I was just searching up Joanne Wood. I couldn't find nothing. I was like, why does that name sound so familiar? Her name used to be Joanne Calderwood. And for some reason, she dropped the Calder. I don't know why. So I literally spent an hour at my coffee shop trying to find whoever Joanne Wood footage was, and there was no results found. So then I was like, what the heck? And then I type in Joanne Calderwood, and here she is. And I was like, you wasted an hour of my time. Just to lose by submission.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember this one being too exciting.
No.
I don't think I watched this one at all. And then, all right, what was after that? Okay.
Oh,
That
God.
was a hell of a
That was the card. Yeah, 273. Volkov versus Korean Zombie.
The UFC really does a good job at making these pay-per-views worth it, though. Like, even from the early prelims on, like, they really stack it up.
Mackenzie Dern.
Dude, I mean,
I just love Mackenzie Dern.
what
She's
was
a
it,
beast.
Stand as an armbar on her back,
She different.
carrying her. That was the fight I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The split decision, too. I thought
Tisha Torres is a beast, too.
Tisha
yeah.
Torres is nice. For sure.
The first fight too, though. Like I want to say, let me look at the early prelim because all these fights.
This was a good card all the way through, for real. Julio Aris, yep.
Yeah, this one
I
was
bet
good.
him. And now,
Bro, talk about a
Oh
veteran.
my gosh.
Alexei Olenek.
now Kay Hansen is out of UFC now after this loss.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, she was like
She
starting to
signed
get some.
to Invicta.
I don't even know what that is.
Just a
Like
different
the watch
promotion.
company? No, I'm just kidding. But she, Kay Hansen was like she was starting to get some buzz behind her too.
She was a young prospect. I think
Yeah.
she's like 21, 22, so she might be back, but she's
Yeah.
making bank on OnlyFans right now.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what she does?
Yeah.
Her Instagram is.
Yeah, that's solid. That's where
Okay.
you got to research the Instagram sometimes, see what fighters are up to.
Always.
Ian Gary. Was that his debut?
No, that was his second fight.
Okay, yeah.
I love Ian Gary.
Yeah, he's fun to
Pretty
watch.
good.
Yeah.
Aspen Ladd, I can't stand her. I don't know what it is.
She just looks like a girl that like doesn't know how to fight though. That's the craziest part. Aspen Ladd.
Like I feel like you could throw her pencil in school and the teachers like, or she tattles.
She
on
looks
the
like she
teachers
has
or
a
something.
giant backpack.
100%.
Like the biggest back. Like her backpack weighs more than she does.
Yeah.
Yep. Ian
She
Gary.
100% sat with the teachers during lunch. On everything.
Okay.
I love Ian Gary though. He has so much buzz. Everyone's talking about he's the next McGregor. I don't know about that.
That boy's got the longest neck in the world
He do.
though.
He do.
That's a good way to get choked.
This was a good fight.
Vince,
Madsen.
Madsen's such a good grappler.
Yeah.
Tisha Torres. Tisha's a badass.
Titty almost fell out. I was rooting for it.
For who? Mackenzie Dern's almost? Or wow.
Kamzat Chimaev.
I'm surprised it's only happened once in the
A
UFC.
couple times.
What, titty fallouts?
Colin's got it in writing.
Colton's got him framed on his wall. They're like
I saw
blurry.
a
No, I'm just kidding.
compilation one time.
It's like
There's a
tally.
compilation? They're probably not all UFC though. They're probably all like
just, like,
different.
fighting and-
Yeah, MMA
Yeah.
fights. Yeah, I'm talking about in UFC though. I think it's only ever happened once. Like, what do you do as a ref at that point? You just like reach in, like grab like the brawl and like pull it back
Just
down.
push in and adjust.
That like kudos to Venom and people who make their clothes because they make that shit where it don't come
Yeah.
off.
It ain't even moving.
Because you're
Nothing.
you're
Yeah.
catching like elbows to
Yeah.
that thing too, like when you're like doing grappling and shit.
Yeah.
And so for somebody like Mackenzie Dern, like that's her style is grappling. So it's
Yeah,
like
for sure.
kudos to her her clothing for staying on because you know if they want equal rights. No, I'm just kidding.
That's a different-
no shirts,
That's a
just
different
shorts.
Episode. That's a different episode.
All right, Kamzat Chimaev, Gilbert Burns.
That
It was a great fight.
That was a snoozer. I'm just kidding.
Said no one ever.
Fight of the night for sure.
Yeah, that was Gilbert's such a sap. And he dropped Kamzat.
He
First
did.
of all, it was Kamzat's first fight in the UFC. First fight. Every other fight was a mauling. Every other fight was a mauling.
Kamzat looked like he was gassing around too.
Giant jumping competition.
Oh,
for
it was
Kamzat.
huge.
And to do what he did.
Yeah.
Well, you heard Dana paid them both their win bonus.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
both got it.
I think what was so crazy about this fight, leading up to it, like we said, Burns was his biggest competition, no debate. I have a hard time even naming anyone else he's fought so far. I'm gonna be honest with you, just off the top of my head. For Kamzat
I can
to
picture
be-
the one dude he starched just standing up in like fucking 35
Right,
seconds.
The first punch.
Literally.
That
And
was
the
Gerald
dude,
Mearshart, I
the
think.
dude, he turned into like you've seen those videos where like a dude where like it's like an editing thing where you can just take the bones out of someone and they turn to jelly on the
Yeah.
floor. It literally looked like
I
that.
think it was Gerald Mearshart.
Yeah. That sounds right.
But for Kamzat to be a near 5-1, you got to bet $500 to win $100 against Gilbert Burns. Like, I'm never doing that.
No.
Never.
No.
But that just shows how much not only the UFC but like the people in Vegas, like he is the prospect in UFC right now.
Yeah, he's got a lot of snowball behind
And
him.
there's like this thing for the sports betting world where they do like future fights. Like if this fight ever happens, here's what the odds are, so people can go and bet on it. He's only plus 100 against Usman right now. So like they have it neck and neck against Usman.
Against Usman.
Literally the dude that's running through everyone in welterweight. Like
Against
that's so crazy. To me.
Usman.
Yeah,
What?
it's crazy.
What?
And it's like anytime Usman fights right now, he's like a minus 600 against Covington. So he's minus 115 against Chimaev. It's insane to me.
Yeah. I think it's because people are basing it off of all of his previous fights in the
Yeah.
UFC where he's just running through the competition and then he faced Gilbert Burns. So I think now that he's up in the top rankings,
Yeah.
I think everyone that he's going to fight now, it's going to be a much closer fight.
I want to see Chimaev versus Covington for sure.
Yeah, and then Usman same night.
Back to back.
Actually both at the same time.
Yeah.
Kamzat versus Covington and Usman same time.
This next fight was my best bet of the year.
Aljamain Sterling versus Jan.
Yeah.
You pick Jan?
I picked Sterling. I bet on Sterling that night.
Okay.
And because it was crazy. I was like plus 330. But
That was a ball. I did not agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I
I'm not gonna
remember.
lie. I totally was like Peter Yan just ran. He was running through Aljamain.
the last fight, yeah.
Yeah, it was just
But in my opinion, from the first fight, Aljamain brought in the worst possible game plan against Peter Yan. Because Aljamain, I remember watching the interviews after he faked the whole injury. But anyway, that's another story for a different day. So last fight, everyone knows Yan takes the first round off to calculate his approach, get his timing down,
Yeah.
get his patterns. He always does that. Aljamain completely blew his load round one last time. Doesn't finish Yan. Who finishes Yan? No one.
No.
So then once he didn't finish Yan, he won round one easily, but Yan ended up, he hasn't gassed out or anything, so Yan came in, dominated, and Aljo gassed out. So Aljo talked about the next fight. He's like, look, I know I'm going to win round one easily. He's not going to give any output. Then I'm going to start getting takedowns. And I was like, okay, dude's actually thinking smart.
Yep.
And then you see he's a plus 330, and I'm just like, that's good odds for someone. Like,
Right. He's-
before the Yan fight, Aljo was everyone's darling in this division.
Right.
Like,
right.
after the Yan fight, everyone slept on him.
Yeah, because Jan was dominating that fight so well.
Agreed.
But like you said, I agree. Now that you say that with Aljamain, how he gassed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And then he just was a straight up human backpack.
Yeah.
that whole fight.
Those takedowns was so smart. Jan was
He just put that
pissed.
body
He had no idea what to
triangle.
do.
He got on Peter Yan's back and just put that body triangle on him. Dude, it was like it was in each round he was on Peter Yan's back within the first minute.
Yeah.
And then just stayed on his back and then just I'm
agree.
surprised he didn't get the choke. Kudos to Yan for not
agree.
getting choked out because
Yeah.
I would have definitely got choked out with how much beating Peter Yan took and then was still able to protect his neck. That
Right.
was impressive in and of itself.
The only thing I disagreed with this fight in particular was not that Sterling won. I thought he deserved, but the fact that it was a split. I thought Sterling easily won 3 rounds.
Yeah, no,
especially with
I
the
agree
good
with that.
control he had.
I thought it was unanimous, especially when you look at the other fights that we talked about earlier
Yeah.
that were unanimous, like Figueiredo versus Moreno.
Yeah, like how was that unanimous, but this wasn't?
Yeah, but this was a split decision.
Right.
Like, to me, Aljamain easily won 3 of those rounds. Easily.
I agree.
To me, they weren't even debatable.
Yeah,
Like, I don't even know what Peter Yan won in that fight, to be honest.
100%. You can make the case.
Yeah. And then I did not watch that one at all.
gosh.
Like, I haven't even seen highlights of that one.
Mauling.
Yeah, Alexander Volkanovski just took Korean Zombie to deep waters.
How
And,
he looks right there
drowned
is
him.
how he looked ending the fight.
100%.
yeah, he was untouched. He was just sweaty. Yeah.
After
Alexander
Volkanovski
didn't get touched.
beat Ortega, I mean, then you give him
Bro.
an even older fighter. Like this was the easiest matchmaking I could have gave for him. Like Korean Zombie's a legend.
He's
in the
really
sport,
good. He's really good too. But
Volkanovski's walking through anyone that's not Max Holloway in this division.
right. And the only reason you can't walk through Max Holloway is because Max Holloway is just he's insanely
Yeah.
awesome. I want to see, bro. I could watch Alexander Volkanovski versus Brian Ortega 4 times a day and still not. Get
That was
tired
one of the
it.
best fights
It was
I've seen.
so good, especially after that round 2 when they
To
like get up
overcome
and
those
look at each other.
guillotines, yeah, those were insane.
Yeah,
I'm
such
glad the doctors they stopped it.
Yeah, they could have stopped it a lot sooner.
Yeah, like round 3 they could have stopped it. Like,
For sure.
halfway through.
Yeah.
Oh, would the doctor stop that fight?
I think Herbs.
Or
stopped it.
yeah,
Herb
okay,
stopped
so
it.
yeah, TKO.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the doctor could have stopped it
Mm-hmm.
after round 3.
because he was bleeding real bad or something.
He was just not getting any output out. He was just a punching bag.
Yeah, literally.
Oh man.
The jab of Volkanovski was so fast.
Yeah, his pocket was in and out the whole time.
Gosh.
Yeah, Volkanovski's he's getting really good. Do you think he gets tired in that division and tries to go get like the belt from somebody
I
else?
think he's cooling.
Yeah, he's good.
I think he tries to go get the lightweight belt.
I hope not, because that division's already stacked.
Yeah,
That would be-
Yeah, but that how dope would that look? Because if he goes up in weight, he doesn't leave his belt.
Yeah.
he gets to keep his belt.
He
has-
is that competitive too. He could do something
yeah.
like that.
And I think he tries to do it before Islam gets it. If he's
Yeah.
going to. If he's going to try it. I think he does it.
Lightweight's gonna be the hardest one for anyone to go into, just because
Yeah, but
like 5 of those
Volkanovski's
dudes on the
so
top 5
big.
could be champ.
But Volkanovski's so big to just go to 155. What is it?
Yeah.
What is featherweight? Is it 145?
45.
Yeah, that rugby build different.
Yeah, yeah. For him to, he used to be like 200 pounds. His walking around weight's probably 170, 180.
Right.
I mean, the dude's thick. To go to 155, he would just have more energy because he's not gonna have to cut as much.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. So I think it would have to like so. I think this is what happens. I think if Volkanovski, which obviously he kept his belt, I think if Gaethje versus Charles, if Gaethje wins, I think that he's gonna try and go fight Gaethje for the belt.
Okay.
And if he gets the belt, I don't know if he retires after that. I really hope he fights Max one more time.
We need one more. We deserve one more.
They should do a fight at lightweight.
It was originally supposed to be for 273, but Holloway had to pull out.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, Volkanovski's just. Or what about this? Everyone's talking about this too. Cejudo coming back. Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh. Henry Cejudo, Triple C. He's in
Yeah.
the USADA testing pool again now.
That'd be a great fight.
Who wins though?
I mean, with the Volkanovski I just saw, he's just
I'm taking Volk against everyone besides Max.
Boy,
getting better and better.
boy. Let me tell you something about my boy Triple C. To see what he has done to people,
Yeah.
it is just I cannot think that anybody will beat him.
The constant improvement of Volkanovski, though.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh no, I'm not
insane.
disagreeing. I'm not saying Volkanovski's not a motherfucker,
Yeah.
but to watch Henry Cejudo do what he's done to everybody, he's been mauling everybody. He beat Demetrius Johnson, not convincingly,
Mighty Mouse.
yeah, but dude, Triple C is no joke.
He's good for sure.
He is no joke.
And it's one of the things whenever you get a layoff versus a champ that
Yeah.
Volk's out of any champion in the UFC right now, Volk's definitely the most active. Like he's defending it 2-3 times a year.
Yeah.
Like we got some that are doing it maybe once a year.
Well, he's relatively new to the belt too, though, right? Who did he
Right.
get it from?
Let's find out.
Yeah, I don't remember who he won it from.
Was it the first Holloway? Was it the interim at the time?
honestly don't remember. I don't remember enough people that fight in that division. Be honest with you.
Look at those wins.
Won the UFC featherweight championship against Max Holloway. Yeah. UFC 245 in 2019.
Defended.
Yeah, he's got 3 defenses.
Yeah, he's raw.
Brian Ortega, Max Holloway, and now him.
Undefeated in the
Korean
UFC.
Zombie. Yeah, but I think if Henry Cejudo comes back, I think Henry Cejudo is so good and he knows what it takes.
Yeah.
And he would want to prove something too, and I think that's important. Like when GSP came back and won the belt against choked out Michael Bisping. Like I think it would be something similar to that. They're not taking anything away from Michael Bisping, but I mean, when you brush elbows with greatness, and I'm not saying Henry Cejudo is not great. He's really really good, really good. I mean, he did what he debatably beat Dominic Cruz. Like he was mauling Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz is no slouch either.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to see that. I'd like to see that fight.
It would be smart for Triple C because in that division, he's not going to have that much to build up his name quickly.
Right.
Like Holloway is the only other contender in the division.
I mean, Ortega would be a good fight for him, dude. Like it was a good comeback fight.
I'm cool if you give Ortega Volkanovski again. That first one was so lit.
Oh yeah.
I'm not mad at that at all.
Oh, for sure. I think
he hasn't fought since he lost to Volk, has he?
Oh no, he probably needs another couple years to recover from that one.
That was a lot of damage.
I want to see Yar Rodriguez fight again in that division.
Yeah.
I love that.
He almost beat Max Holloway when he came back.
Yeah, until he like broke his foot. Did you see his foot at the end of that fight?
He was keeping up pace wise.
Was that Max Holloway and Yar Rodriguez? Is that the fight?
I think it was. Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. It was just straight up. I remember where I was when I watched that one because it was the only fight on that card I watched, and it was just so good. Because Yar Rodriguez's kicks are insane, but he stopped using his kick after the second round. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably got caught somewhere.
Yeah, but I would like to see Volkanovski versus Triple C more than I'd like to see him versus anybody else.
So, do you think if Triple C comes back, they instantly give him a title chance?
They could.
He's that big of a name.
Yeah.
And Volk's already beating everyone up there.
That's not up to me. I think that's up to Dana and what Dana wants. And Dana's, I don't think.
He wants that money.
Because Cejudo wants money. And that's a surefire way to not get a fight with Dana's wanting more money than he wants to give you.
Right.
Sorry. And then we want to talk about the next couple of fights. Luque versus Muhammad. I didn't watch that.
Muhammad just took down
Vicente. I would have put my money on Vicente on that fight.
I did.
Yeah, because I like Vicente. He's such a good striker, and he's choked out some people too.
Yeah.
Or a person. I don't know if it's some people.
Right.
And then Lemos versus Andrade. I didn't watch that either.
I mean, she's beating everyone besides Rose.
Yeah. So there's another one of those fighters where it's like she's top of the division, but not the top of the division.
She can't get over the hump. And Lemos is good too.
All right, you want to look at some upcoming fights?
Let's do it.
Give some predictions. We're gonna start doing this on a regular, decent basis. And we'll have to start making them shorter too, so we don't have to, because we'll have less to talk about the more often we do them.
Fawn and Cheetos tonight.
Oh, who you got that one?
I got Cheeto.
What? That's not what you said last week.
But a lot can change in a week, especially in the UFC.
Yeah, you're right.
I did not like how Font looked yesterday on the scales.
He looked like he was wobbling or something.
In his interviews, he's talking about this fight means nothing to me. Like this is just. I hate when athletes act like that. And then someone like Cheeto is so hungry.
Bro, he is starving. He is starving hungry. That man, he literally his last fight he looked really good and he's just really well rounded.
That's when he knocked out Frankie Edgar, that front kick.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But I like Font stylistically with his jab and stuff, but once you start talking about like I don't need to be here, like it's gonna
be
flag.
I hope it ends up being a good fight. I hope he's just saying that to like throw people off.
Yeah.
Throw off the bed.
The whole card today is pretty meh. So
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I mean
7:00 main event. I'm watching that.
Prelim start at 4.
And then next weekend I'm spending money.
What a good fight.
Spending money. Listen, I was thinking about this, Colton, and I was like, we should go to like a sports bar or something to watch a UFC event, get some food, like hang out, drink beers. But not this card.
Not that one.
Not this card. I'm not gonna risk it.
Nope.
I'm not gonna risk going and having a bad time when Oh, it almost looked like he had a card pulled up, and I was like, there's no way that's the co-main. Okay, Charles versus Justin Gaethje. All right, Dylan, tell me.
I like Gaethje.
I like Gaethje too.
Okay.
Now tell me about who you think's going to win.
It's tough.
Those are like my two.
I know.
When we mentioned 3 favorite fighters,
I've
those are
lost
two
the
of them.
last 2 versus Olivera, and I'm just like, why do I keep doing this? But I just hate how he gets folded round one. So let me ask you this. Out of Chandler, Poirier, and Gaethje, would you say Gaethje's the most powerful out of those three? I would say so.
I would say.
Like one punch power.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so, in
joke.
my opinion, I'm thinking, right. So I'm thinking, realistically, Chandler almost finished Olivera round one.
Yeah.
Even Poirier doesn't have power. Like,
But he still got it.
so
Yeah, but it's not the same level as Gaethje. Poirier is a
That's what I'm
mixture
saying.
of
Gaethje's
like
probably the most
consistent.
powerful in the division.
Yeah, Poirier is a mix of consistent power with output.
So if Olivera does the overcome adversity thing, he might not get a chance to face adversity against
The
Gaethje. Is my
thing that
thinking.
Gaethje has to be super. Justin's gonna have to pace himself in this fight.
Yeah.
He's just gonna, because if he takes too much risk, Charles is like a
Yeah.
king of capitalizing
Yeah.
on you slipping up.
But it's like Gaethje never gasses out. Like,
Gaethje?
Yeah.
He does when he gets wobbled.
Yeah. But I don't.
He just keeps going forward.
Right.
That's his thing.
Yeah.
And Oliveira's more of a submission guy, so I don't know if you can gas out Gaethje, which is a submission threat.
I think you're going to see Justin Gaethje. He's going to take the same approach he did in Chandler's fight, where he didn't throw caution to the wind.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to take a much more calculated. Trevor Whitman is going to be like, "Hey man, do you want the belt or do you want to put on a show? Because
Yeah.
this is the fight you decide."
Right.
Because you're either, if you don't put on a show, if you just stay calm, calculated, collected, you can get the belt today.
Yeah.
You can get it today.
I agree.
But if you start throwing caution to the wind,
I think that's why he did that with Chandler, because it wasn't a belt shot. They were just going
Yeah.
at it.
Which
Yeah.
that fight was bonkers.
yeah.
Chandler.
Yeah,
was-
but Justin knew if he won that fight,
Yeah.
his next fight was going to be for the
Yeah,
belt.
I agree.
So he was not like Chandler threw caution to the wind that fight,
Mm-hmm.
but Gaethje did not. Gaethje seemed much more calculated. Gaethje took some big shots, but that's just how good Michael Chandler is.
Right.
I think that fight is going to be really close.
I'm gonna go Gaethje.
I am too.
I don't know. I
gotta
honestly
pick
don't
against
know.
your boys right
I
here.
gotta pick. I gotta
Yep.
pick.
I like Olivera, and I know you're a nut rider.
No. But no, these are my two favorite fighters. And the only reason I like Charles the way he is, first of all, he's got an amazing story. He was not supposed to live and be able to. Bro, first of all, he takes his glasses off. And have you seen his Coke bottle glasses?
Yeah.
Got the thickest fucking glasses.
He looks pretty clean with those. I
He
ain't gonna
said
lie. He looks
in
pretty
interviews,
dope.
he's talked about how like when he's fighting somebody, it's blurry.
Yeah.
It's like super blurry. I'm
Which
like,
I
that's
get it. He
insane.
almost gets knocked down around one each time. We can't see him.
That's probably why.
You get used to it.
Yeah.
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 So where you going, Ryan?
but regardless, I like to always go with the ground. So I'm gonna talk it out in front of everybody. So Gaethje is a fantastic wrestler, super impossible to get down. But in the same instance, you said Dustin Poirier's takedown defense is really great when he fought Charles, and
Right.
my rebuttal was
You're right,
Charles
you're
can
right.
submit you standing up.
Yeah.
So I'll probably pick Charles just because of his submission game. I think that is the Justin Gaethje's biggest threat is submissions. But if Charles chooses to stand up and fight Justin Gaethje standing without trying to submit him, Gaethje wins. That's what. So it really just depends on what Charles' game plan is, because we all know what Justin's going to do. Justin's going to stay standing and fight. So if Justin's able to impose his game plan, Justin wins. If Charles is able to get a hold of Gaethje and choke him out or submit him, I think Charles wins.
I see Oliveira winning if he holds Gaethje's gloves like he did against Poirier. He should.
We all agree.
This should be Poirier versus Gaethje right now. IMO.
I mean, I really think.
I want to see Gaethje. If Gaethje wins the belt, what was Poirier? Did Poirier's last fight was when he lost the belt to Oliveira, or when he lost the championship?
Yeah,
to
Oliveira retained it against Poirier.
Yeah, that was Poirier's
Which
last fight.
I really think Poirier was going to win that fight.
I would like to see Poirier versus Gaethje run it back.
I'm cool with that.
If Gaethje wins the belt here, that'd be Poirier's biggest opportunity to get the belt.
Yeah.
And I before Poirier retires, because he's getting
deserves it. Yeah.
he's getting on the cusp of needing to
Yeah.
retire,
I agree.
and he's still winning though.
Yeah.
And I really want to see him get the belt.
He's so likable too.
I love Dustin Poirier. I want to see him get that belt and
Yeah.
then just sail off into the sunset.
Yeah, I can't.
Go
deal
raise
with
your
Oliveira
babies.
after that glove grab. I can't.
Yeah, that was pretty sad.
was
That was pretty
pissed
sad
about that.
because he just I mean, that was at the beginning of the round. He capitalized
How
on
did
that,
the ref not see that? I mean, clear as day.
and then he pulled Dustin down. and
Even the
he just-
announcers were like, "Was that a?" And they rolled it back to like, "Yep, sure was."
It just suffocated him in that whole next round. Yeah.
So
you know.
Doug Rose easy win, right?
Against Carlo Esparza?
Yeah.
I don't know easy, but I think she wins.
Oh yeah. What can you is that just a fight night?
This is the.
Oh, that's the full card.
This is the card.
Yeah.
Wait, so Charles Oliveira and Gaethje's the co-main?
No, are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's not. That's out of it's out of order. It's got to be out of order. There's no
That's
way
what
that
I'm
the
thinking.
lightweight championship isn't the main card.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I love
'Cause
Rose.
Carla-
I
yeah,
love
they're
Carl.
yeah,
I don't know. That's what it says.
that's the
So,
background.
It's just out of order. We just clicked on the website at the right time. Someone's working on it.
You
They're
don't put
fixing it.
you don't put Carla on a.
I don't
on
think
a
Carl.
main
I don't
event.
think Rose and Carla. I mean, they're co-main, but
I
God
mean, they
damn
weren't
it.
even putting
Make
Rose-
Michael Chandler, Tony Ferguson. Make it 5 rounds, please.
Yeah.
For the world, do it for the world. Okay, so Rose, Carla. We all think Rose wins.
Yeah, I would say.
Everyone
so.
say aye. Okay, cool.
Aye,
Michael
cool.
Chandler versus Ferguson
Look at Michael Chandler as a plus 300
Yeah.
underdog.
against
He's
Ferguson.
been losing.
Tony Ferguson. That's a good fucking fight.
It
I
is.
think that might be the closest fight of them.
It is, but that's what I'm saying. Like Ferguson's a bigger favorite than any of the champions are.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
And
Because
he
Chandler's
hasn't
losses
won.
were against these two dudes above him.
Yeah.
Like you lose to Oliver and Gaethje,
and-
no one's mad at you for that.
And Tony lost to Charles and Beneil Dariush.
Yeah.
So like,
So were they both on a 2-fight losing streak?
I think so.
yeah, I think so.
crazy.
Yeah. That
So why is Ferguson a 4-1?
people just love them some Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
Tony Ferguson's motherfucking awesome.
I feel like we all love Michael Chandler too, though. The dude's such a dope guy.
Yeah. Who wins that one, Colton?
I'm gonna go Ferguson.
Ferguson? Dylan?
I'm gonna go Chandler.
I think I'm gonna go Chandler too. I think it's a
Plus
close fight.
310.
I think it goes to
Very
decision.
close.
I think it goes to decision. I don't see if Justin Gaethje did knock out Tony Ferguson when he destroyed that man's face, then I don't think Chandler's gonna do it either.
But the way Chandler's been just getting his chin rocked.
Yeah.
And just like one punch, not just done.
Yeah, I could see Tony Ferguson knocking out Chandler by like a spinning elbow or something.
That's what I'm seeing.
I could see that happen too.
His glass chin lately has just been.
Yeah, I could see that too.
I just think if this was like Ferguson like 2 years ago, like Ferguson's like a minus 1,000.
Oh
Like,
yeah, oh
easily.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when he was on his
Yeah.
wrecking ball path before Khabib retired. Yeah,
That'll be a good one. That
Yep.
could probably be fight of the night.
bro,
to be
is
honest.
Shogun Ruiz fighting?
He's back
Talk
against
about it.
OSP.
It's like watching your grandpa gonna fight
And
somebody.
then
Like, hey
fucking
man.
Cerrone is still fighting.
Yeah,
and he's a favorite at that.
I hope Donald wins and decides he's done.
And retires.
I hope he gets his last W and then rolls out. And then that's like an old fight.
Yeah, it's a throwback.
Saint Pre or Saint
Yeah.
Pre.
OSP's been around a while
Saint
too.
Pre? Saint Pre?
Yeah. I don't think we've
Oh,
seen
OSP,
him
yeah.
since.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I think
Jamal Hill finished him recently.
Yeah.
yeah. So then I hope both of those. I hope at the end of those fights that those people all retire, except for that Joe dude that's fighting. That's fighting. What's his name?
Lizone.
So I'm gonna say for the Gaethje Olivera fight, I'm gonna say Olivera because I think his game plan is going to be implemented. But
So
if
you're going
it's-
Olivera by sub?
yeah,
I'm gonna say Gaethje by KO.
he's got the most submissions in UFC history, and
Crazy.
so to just look at that to see
Takes
that
one
track
punch.
record, you're right. It does. It's really actually I think more than this, the first round is gonna if Charles can survive the first round.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I think what Gaethje needs to do is throw caution to the wind first round, and not get choked.
Yeah.
And I think Gaethje can win that. But if Oliveira survives that first round, I think the later the fight gets, I think the more chances Charles going to have to choke out Justin.
Yeah.
So
It's like
That's gonna be a
Oliveira's
good
having
fight.
too many round one close calls.
Boy,
for
I
me
don't-
to feel comfortable with him.
if I go in a coma, would be like the only, or if I die, it would be the only way I'm going to miss that fight. Like I just, I
Yeah,
want
it's
to
a
watch
must
that.
watch for sure.
It's in Phoenix, Arizona too. Like Justin's, I think he's from Arizona, right? Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure.
That's like his hometown.
So it's only right.
Woo! You boys want to fly to Phoenix next weekend?
Absolutely nice. It's already hot enough in Florida. I'm not going to Arizona.
Arizona's different, bro. I just came from Arizona. It's not bad.
Oh, I thought
It was fucking.
scorching over
It was
there.
cold, bro. I was
Oh, for
cold.
real?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's dry.
And if you buy the tickets, I'll go.
Yeah, same.
All right, cool. You buy the plane tickets. I'll buy the.
Not what I said.
I'll buy the UFC tickets.
I didn't read the terms and agreement.
And then you got Jan Blachowicz versus Rakic.
Yeah.
Racket.
I feel like we haven't seen Jan fight in a minute.
Yeah, he got choked out by
Glover.
Glover. That was a good fight.
I'm ready for Glover's first defense against.
Yeah.
That's coming
Oh,
up.
against
Yeah, Yuri.
against Yuri Prohaska.
Yuri. I already bet on Yuri for that fight.
Already?
Yeah, I bet on it in like February.
Jeez.
I think
Jeez. Oh, it's in Singapore. Ooh.
I think Glover was the perfect like underdog story, but Yuri different. That's all I gotta say for him.
He's coming up.
He's gonna take that whole division by storm. He really
Yeah,
is.
he's good. He's good to do what he did to Dominic Reyes.
Yeah.
Yep. So
And like they scheduled that so out early. Like I think that just shows like how certain they want him to be that guy.
Yep.
Because arguably his easiest pass can be against someone like Glover, like just the age and stuff and all that.
Yep. I'm excited, man. I think we got a lot of good fights coming up soon. I think that I just can't wait for them to schedule more. I'm super pumped about Charles versus Gaethje though. Out of all the fights that I've seen scheduled ahead of time so far, that is the one I'm the most excited about. Second is Chandler versus Ferguson.
Yeah. I'm really excited about Tuivasa and Ciryl Gane now, but that's all the way in September. So.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Anything else?
Yeah, they're talking about doing Ciryl and Tuivasa in September, and then on the same card they're talking about doing John Jones and Stipe.
Who wins, John Jones versus Stipe?
I'll never bet against John Jones in my
Is it
life.
a coked up John Jones, or is it a sober John Jones?
Either one beats Stipe.
Probably.
John, it's just it doesn't matter, Colton. It's John Jones, okay?
Like primetime John Jones.
He's got I wish his life outside of the ring was straighter. Yeah, but I don't
Could you
think you
imagine
get the
his
crazy.
career though if he would have been like?
I don't think John Jones gets his. I don't think he gets his stylist. The style he is crazy, just like he is outside of
Right.
fighting. So it's just I don't know. I don't think you. I don't know.
Wouldn't it
just
be
don't
such
know.
a dream just to be in charge of doing the UFC matchmaking? Like, how fun would that be? Just
I
to-
don't want that at all. I don't want that at all. I don't want to be the one who does all the paperwork and the actual stuff. I just want to go.
Yeah, I
this
just want to
guy's
get on
fighting.
my whiteboard and just like connect the dots.
Yeah, I just want to write it down on the whiteboard. I just want to write it on the whiteboard and then give it to someone else who does all the legwork
Right.
of it. I'm
Like,
like,
you
this
get
is-
the contract signed. I just want to matchmake.
These are the fights that are happening. Go.
Yeah,
and then
for sure.
If you don't make it happen, you're fired.
Right.
And then not really.
I
but
agree.
that
Yeah,
would be
I
the
get you.
dream.
Yeah,
that
for
would be
sure.
the dream. So that's why we're putting this out into the universe, because we want to say what we want to see.
100%.
So okay, Connor comes back. Who's he fighting?
I don't know. I feel like this is a whole different.
Can you pull up the lightweight division?
Because anyone in the top 5 sleeps him right now. I'll go ahead and say that.
Sleeps Connor,
Yeah, he's getting
the
slept.
guy who's never been slept.
He's getting slept. He was gonna get slept in that Poirier fight.
He got fucked.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I said never been slept. Poirier did sleep
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
But run through that. Poirier beats him. Gaethje beats him. Islam beats him. Beneil beats him. I think Chandler would beat him.
I think him and Islam would be a good fight.
I don't. I think it would be the same as.
I don't think
Khabib
anyone's a
versus
good
him.
fight versus Islam.
I think I'd like to see Connor Tony or Connor Chandler.
Connor Tony would be fire.
Connor should fight whoever wins Chandler versus Tony.
I just like to see Conor lose. That's why I say that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's a fun fighter to watch. He's got dynamite in that left
He
hand.
does.
Dynamite. I mean, you saw him. Poirier got wobbled in both of those rematches. Both of them, including the one where but Poirier is so like calm, cool, and collected now that he's a different Poirier.
It's scary. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good. I'd like to see. So if Connor, let's say Connor wins against the fight where he fights, if he was to fight the winner of Tony versus Michael, I'd like the fight for all my money. If Connor looks really good against one of those fighters in his comeback, I'd like to see Justin Gaethje versus Connor.
That'd be really cool.
That'd be a brawl.
Just looking at that list, though, I mean, like
Bro.
a lot of those dudes are taken besides Beneil. Like Beneil come back and McGregor come back and fight each other. That'd be fireworks.
Bro, how much money would be generated from Connor versus Gaethje?
Yeah. Any fight
Especially
Connor's
if he
on.
was champion.
Bro.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, if it's Gaethje as champion. Oh, yes.
Connor's
son.
going to make money whatever fight he's
Oh,
on.
but if it's a
Yeah, but
champion,
Yeah.
but Gaethje himself carries almost as,
He
in
does.
my opinion,
his name value's up there for sure.
because when Gaethje fights, like the world wants to tune in,
Yeah.
same as Connor.
all
Right.
of those guys, like top 5.
Yeah, lightweight's
I
stacked.
mean,
Yeah, but I still think Gaethje, he probably sells more tickets than any of them.
Yeah.
But besides Connor,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean Chandler probably does a good amount of them. Poirier probably does a good amount of them, but
Yeah, Gaethje's
nobody
probably-
pulls as many as Gaethje, in my opinion.
It's either him or Connor, to be honest.
Because tell me a boring fight of Gaethje's you've watched. I'll wait.
Yeah.
Because there's not one. There's not
No
one.
results found.
No, exactly. Yeah. No results. I mean,
Buffering.
it's gonna be right. For sure. I would think. That's if I'm playing a video game, that's a UFC video game. If I'm just running a simulation, I'm putting those two next to each other.
Yeah.
And I think that it's probably 5-5. I think
Yeah.
it's probably an even
It would be a
match.
fun fight, but I feel like being at 9 right now, I feel like you can't just jump into a title fight, even if that's your name value.
I understand. But Connor gets whatever he wants.
I know
that.
He does.
Okay.
Because Dana
but
knows it's going to sell.
Think about the tool bag that is Justin Gaethje's tool bag. The leg kick number one best
100%,
tool.
yeah.
And what's Connor's what Dustin Poirier found as being his kryptonite? Leg kicks.
Gaethje finished
So
them.
I think Gaethje breaks his other, breaks his leg.
I think anyone in top 5 finishes him. I really do.
Yeah.
The whole top 5.
Yeah, the whole top 5 is.
Only one I would debate would be Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
And it's just because he's really only had the win against Hooker, right?
Mm-hmm.
His next 2 fights were losses.
Yeah. Yeah, he had Hooker, then he lost to Olivera, and
Yeah, for the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he beat Hooker, and then his next fight was for the belt, and that's when
and then
Olivera
he lost
won
to
it.
Gaethje.
Yeah, then he lost to Gaethje. But I mean, no, he didn't really lose. He lost to Gaethje like Gilbert Burns lost to Kamzat.
Right,
They
it's
both
like
lost.
it's a slap on the wrist.
No, they both won. Everybody won. Somebody just had to take the L.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That
For
was
sure.
everybody won the Michael.
That's
Chandler
definitely
fight.
the most active division for sure.
Yeah. Oh, there's no question. There's no question. Which is crazy to me. Like, how are there that many men that weigh 155 pounds?
Right.
It's because they really weigh like 170, 180.
And it's like the best in the world. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah.
To,
Yeah.
Mm.
I really want Charles to retire as champ. I want to see him. I want to see him do like what GSP did and just retire on
he's
top.
losing it next week, unfortunately.
There is a strong possibility. But see, I don't feel confident saying that
Yeah.
Charles is going to win.
Right.
And you know how I was when Poirier and him fought. I felt at least not confident, but I felt a
You
little
were more
confident.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, Dustin's great, but
Yeah.
the
And
thing,
he cheated though, so I'm still mad.
yeah.
I'm
No,
gonna keep saying
no,
it.
I don't blame you. But if you look at what happened to Justin and Dustin,
Yeah.
and against Khabib, they both got choked.
Right.
Their submission defense. Granted, Khabib is another
Yeah.
level. If Khabib came back to fight Charles, I think Khabib wins.
Islam beats all these guys at the end of the day.
I don't know about
it's
Islam.
Islam's division.
I don't know about Islam. Is Khabib there? Is there a crowd? Can he hear Khabib?
Khabib's gonna be there, but there'll be a crowd. Any Islam fight from now on is gonna be a pay per view. I feel like.
So Islam Oliveira, take all my money. If Charles beats Gaethje, and does it by like submission, Islam versus Charles,
Yeah.
all the money, all the bets.
I'm taking
But
Islam
I'm
versus any
still
of these dudes.
taking Islam.
Yeah.
I'm taking Islam versus Charles
You
because
give
that
me
style.
Khabib in the corner. I don't care what the
Yeah.
other dude is.
Yeah, Charles would have to pull off something crazy because Islam is just so good on the ground too. I mean,
Yeah, Charles' path is submission, and Islam's gonna have a counter for any of that.
right? I think Islam wins against Charles for sure.
agree.
I think once Islam becomes champ, I don't see anybody taking it from the.
He's
The
gonna retire as
next
champ.
next closest person would be Beneil.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
so mad we didn't get that fight.
I think Islam becomes champ, defends it like twice against people who they think could beat him. Maybe like Beneil and maybe. Maybe just Beneil, or maybe Gaethje. Maybe you see Gaethje versus Islam.
I would say that.
Yeah, and then I think you see Islam get the belt, defend it twice, and then I think you see him retire from the UFC and go fight in the
Eagles.
Yeah, and for
I could see
Khabib's
Islam
thing.
being the type to try to move up and just take over.
Oh, dude, did you think what I just thought when he said that? Kamaru Usman versus Islam, who wins? Ooh.
That's tough.
Fucking brawl.
Bro, wouldn't you give everything in the world to
I
see?
genuinely
to
have no
see,
idea who I would.
Wouldn't you give your left nut to see Kamaru Usman and Islam Makhachev?
But honestly, though, by the time Islam's champ, the champ might be Chimaev. So it could be a Chimaev versus Islam, and then the whole UFC just goes crazy.
Bro,
Because
take
that's
all
the
my
two
money.
prospects right now that
Take my
everyone
money.
loves.
Take my money.
2 killers.
That'd be crazy.
Make it happen, UFC.
Because I don't think Islam would go down. I think he would go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh no, he's not going down.
No.
He's struggling to make lightweight.
Yeah, he's
just like
he's big for
Khabib.
the
They're
division.
both big dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see Usman versus Islam, and I would know who to pick.
Imagine Islam takes welterweight, then goes and takes middleweight.
I don't see that happening.
That would be
I don't see that happening. To make 185, I mean he wouldn't have to cut any weight, but he would definitely be outweighed.
Adesanya would be in his bag for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still be.
Could you imagine first triple champ?
Islam would be that dude.
I'm just saying.
That'd be insane.
Khabib in the corner. I'm not doubting it.
Boy, Khabib versus Kamaru, though, that would have been all my money. I would have taken out a loan. I would have had my teeth pulled. Whatever you have to do, whatever you want to make that fight happen, I would have watched it.
Man.
I loved it. I would have loved
That
it.
Khabib versus Gaethje fight was
So good. So good. And I didn't know who to pick for that one. I still picked Khabib because you just won't find me betting against Khabib.
You just closed your eyes and be like, Khabib, we're good.
Yeah. I
Agreed.
Yeah. But still. All right. Anything else you want to discuss about UFC? We're going to start doing
I'm good.
This summer, you're going to start doing your UFC podcast?
Yeah, eventually we'll get there.
All right. And you're going to try and keep them pretty short too, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to try for 20, 30-minute videos.
Yeah. Yeah. You going to do video too or just audio? Start with just audio and then add video? Or
Probably,
something?
yeah.
Okay.
I got to play around with it. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll get you hooked up. We'll get you all set up.
Sweet. Thanks
Anytime
for
you
having
want me to
on,
do that,
boys.
too.
It's always fun.
Yeah, we'll do this again. We'll do this again as soon as we can. I mean, hell, we'll do another 20-minute one. I don't care.
Every time we say it's going to be short, and I'm looking at the clock.
Bro, I know. It's been an hour and 40 minutes almost.
It flies by every
Dude,
time.
I literally, it's so, remember you got here and immediately, Colton just pulled up the UFC website and I was like, dude, what do you think? Oh, we can't talk about
Let's
it
go
yet.
and hop on, start the podcast.
Literally, we got to. It's so easy to talk about.
Always
we
a
like
good
it.
time, fellas.
All right, my dudes. Thank you, Dylan. Thanks for doing this. Colton, we should have put that mic on you. Because
I thought about it.
Well, I cut the cord.
Next time.
Whatever.
You're a douche.
I fucked up.
You won't buy me a mic.
Always next time.
That's God saying you shouldn't be on the mic. I'm just kidding. All right. Thank you guys. Thanks for the coffee, Dylan.
For
Really
sure.
appreciate it. Shout out Crazy Cup.
Shout out Crazy Cup.
All right. Bye, everyone.
See you guys.
This episode of Somehow We're Adults is over, but if you'd like to support the podcast, you can subscribe to one of the levels of the Patreon, where we will release bonus episodes that can't be found anywhere else. Any of the money that we get from the Patreon would be used to upgrade old equipment, as well as get new gear so that we can make the best podcast for you to tune into. You can also follow the podcast Instagram at Somehow We're Adults, where I share clips and content about the podcast, and the link in the bio will take you to any of the Somehow We're Adults pages. I encourage you to check out another one of the episodes if this is your first time listening, and if you're a repeat listener, thank you for your support. I love making the podcast, and I hope you tune in for future episodes of Somehow We're Adults.